You are live.
All right. Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to the September 8th County Commissioner meeting. Just as a slight agenda item, mainly for the commissioners sitting up here, I'm going to get us through roll call, and then after that, who will take my place? You?
No, Jeff Whitby.
Okay, Jeff Whitby will come up here. I'll go.
Well, he'll do it from there.
Oh, he'll do it from there, okay. And we'll move up, if it's okay with everyone, the election of both the chairman and the pro tem. But for now, we are on the first item on our agenda, which is the invocation and pledge, delivered tonight by the District 7 commissioners. The invocation will be given by Commissioner Chris Richards. The pledge will be given by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Please rise.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant us wisdom as we make decisions that affect our neighbors and future generations. Give us patience to listen, courage to speak truth, and humility to work together. Bless the people of Williamson County and guide us to act with integrity, fairness, and compassion. May everything we do here tonight be done with respect for one another and in service of the common good. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the roll call. If all the commissioners will sign in if they haven't already. And when it appears on your screen, press your present buttons. Call the roll, please, Mr. Whitby.
I have a few. We have 24 present, but I don't believe everyone's yet they're present
Ricky
yet.
Jones and Steve Smith.
And Commissioner Aiello.
Okay,
All right.
there we go.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, and now, if it's okay, I will hand the meeting over to Mr. Whitby, and we will go through the annual process of selecting a chairman and a vice chairman, AKA pro tem.
All right. The floor is now open for nominations for a one-year term for chair of the Williamson County Commission. There are nominations. Commissioner Hayes.
I'm sorry, that was by mistake.
No worries.
Sorry.
Commissioner Torres.
Nominate Brian Beathard.
Is there a second? Commissioner Steve Smith. Are there any additional nominations? Commissioner Bill Petty? I don't think it was, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Are you good, Commissioner? All right. All right. Seeing no additional nominations, all those in favor of nomination ceasing, cast your vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. All those in favor of Commissioner Beathard being appointed for a chair for a one-year term for the commission chairperson, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Unanimous. Congratulations, sir.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. Next item on the agenda will be the nomination and vote of our County Commission pro tem. Do I hear a nomination? All right, I have a nomination for Matt Williams. Do I hear a second? And I have a nomination for Sean Aiello. I'll be looking for a second on both of those. Let's start with the nomination for Matt Williams. Is there a second to that one? Hearing none, we'll move on to the nomination for Sean Aiello. Is there a second on that one? Second came from Commissioner Hayes. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Sean Aiello, Commissioner Sean Aiello being the Commissioner pro tem, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations, Commissioner Aiello. Next item on the agenda is our approval of minutes. We're approving more than just one this time, and there's a typo here. We will be approving the June 9th and June 20th County Commissioner meetings, as well as, and this is where the typo exists, the August 21st is what it should say, special session County Commission meeting.
They have been loaded individually
They're loaded individually?
because everybody wasn't present.
Okay, I guess we have to vote on these individually. And I have a motion and a second for the first one, a motion from Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Hayes. So we're going to do the 9th first.
It's loading.
Okay, voting on the approval of the minutes of the June 9th County Commission meeting, do I hear any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote and you're in favor of the approval of those minutes, signify by pressing your yes button when it appears on your screen. There we go. If not, your no button. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes.
Passes unanimously. Approval of the minutes now for the June 20th meeting. I'll entertain a motion in a second from the screen when you have it up. Motion again from Commissioner Tunnicliffe, seconded again by Commissioner Hayes. Any questions or comments on the June 20th minutes? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the approval of those minutes, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes.
Motion passes. And lastly, the approval of the minutes of the special called session of the August 21st County Commission meeting. I have a motion made by Commissioner Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Hayes. Any questions or comments on those minutes? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 2 abstain.
Motion passes. Moving on to citizen communications. Our rules allow up to 3 minutes for a total of 30 minutes. I believe we have 5 speakers. And when we find the list here, I will call you out in the order in which you signed up on the sheet. If you would, when you come to the podium, please give us your name and the town in which you reside. And the first one I have up here is Joey Shanine.
Looks like it.
Hopefully I said that somewhat correctly.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. Can you all hear me okay? Joey Shanine. I'm with Arrington, and very happy and excited to be in front of you all tonight. And first, let me just say thank you for what you guys do. I know I really do appreciate it. The reason why I'm here is about the College Grove Park that I believe is on the agenda today. I wanted to share my support for this park. I believe it's something that the community really needs. You know, I heard Mr. Richards today at the beginning mentioned the future generations, and I think this is something that's really important to the future generations. I know in the area planning for Triune, Arrington, and College Grove, I believe this is something that's been identified as something that we need in our area. And also when you think through the Comprehensive Plan 2040, it's also something that I believe is something part of that with the tremendous growth that we've had in our area. So I'll be brief and say I hope you support the College Grove Park. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Mr. Shanine. Next I have, and if we could hold off on the clapping, the next one I have on the list is Angela Walsh.
Good evening. I'm Angela Walsh. I live in Arrington, and unlike Joey, I'm a little bit nervous to be up here and not so excited. I wanted to express my support of the proposed College Grove Park and how important it is to our community. I know I've emailed the commissioners, I've gotten lots of responses, and I appreciate you taking the time to share your perspective. I would hope that you also would have taken the time to go out and visit our facility and see how old it is and how much maintenance has been deferred because we've been promised a park for almost 20 years, and you factor that in your decision regarding the future of our children's activities in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I have Michael Fay.
Thank you. Michael Fay, Spring Hill. My comments are more to educate and spark debate amongst you. I want to speak on a recent policy change that was made by the Solid Waste Director. And as a former state-certified weighmaster for the city of Franklin, I was responsible for loads going in and out of the city transfer station, including the weights of loads. This, I feel, gives me an educated opinion on this subject. A few weeks ago, the director changed the policy to a zero tolerance on cardboard in both the demolition materials and residential trash. This was done, one, to extend the life of the landfill, that being the demo. For second, was to help the loads being hauled by MBI to get the weights higher. Drivers dumping demo have been made to pull cardboard from out underneath their loads on the top of the landfill. Residential trash drivers have been told they would have to open bags and remove the cardboard. This is now being mandated to those using the convenience centers also. Both of these areas should have a public education period first. Haulers of demo could have started telling the clients not to put cardboard in the load and could have marked the dumpster to show no cardboard. Loads with cardboard could then have been diverted to another facility by the haulers. A full-scale public recycling campaign should have been done to make residents aware and educated on the cardboard recycle and the need for it. A few years ago, a stand-up guy's junk removal hauler was putting tools back in the truck in the demo area and was run over by a piece of equipment. If it had not been for a driver from Republic Services, Lloyd Bryant, that subject would have been killed. The driver of the equipment could not see him. We are now asking people to go out and walk around on the demo area. Having people pulling cardboard presents the same danger and risk of injury. Drivers dumping trash, such as the driver for Franklin Disposal, Ashley, has been told to open bags and pulling out cardboard. This, like the demo area, presents another risk of injury. What is going to stick or cut you when you reach into a bag that you have not loaded? Both will require shutting down the equipment in the area and halting operations. Both put the county and me as a taxpayer on the hook for injury. Any cardboard that's been mixed with trash is also deemed to be contaminated and is not accepted at most recycling facilities. What the director's actions have done is set in motion mandatory recycling for Williamson County without the input of the public or the county commissioners. The cost of this is then going to be passed on to all in the county. For those that have private collection will have to pay to have recycling picked up. This can't be done in the same truck with your trash, and you can't take it to our recycling facility.
30 seconds. Okay. All right. Thank you. No. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Now we have Brian Purcell.
The clock isn't working. It's working. She just.
Hello, good evening. Brian Purcell, longtime resident, student athlete, coach now in College Grove. I have a daughter and a son who both play. Daughter uses the area for cheerleading. Son uses it for flag football. Great community, great people, but our fields and athletic spaces are inadequate. They have been for a long time. I don't know if we're holding on to it for a remake of Bad News Bears, but we are all set to rent it out and generate revenue there. So, I understand that we have a plan here. I'd like to push for dates, budgeting, actionable items. The people of College Grove understand. We're willing to help, but I feel like at some point you're being taxed twice. If you pay in, they're always going up taxes, but when they don't come back to College Grove, as a coach and business professional, I don't see the return on investment there. So I'd like to, have everybody come together. I think it's something we can all agree on. Kids deserve better spots. Small decisions like, are we going to have AstroTurf? Are we going to have grass? Consider those volunteers that are there, that are out there painting fields, spending their own money on paint and supplies and time outside of coaching, outside of planning. So those small details make a big difference to the people on the ground. You know, might be a small budget or line item or a small cut to save a buck, but, you know, I feel like we can all work together. We're in the land of good and plenty. You know, appreciate you all you do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And now I have Jensen Reed.
Good evening. I'm Jensen Reed. I also live in College Grove, here to support the College Grove Park. I wanted to come up here as a coach. Brian is also. I've now coached 6 seasons of baseball, flag football, basketball. I have a tennis pro background. I've worked with hundreds of kids in my life. And I can say objectively, the level of talent and growth in College Grove in the junior sports is really exploding. I started in 6U, actually 5U, and just to see the growth of these kids and the talent is awesome. Not to mention, we are part of the California migration in 2020. Love it in College Grove or in McDaniel. The area itself is just exploding. Page High School, Page Middle. I'm excited for our children to go there. So many new additions to those schools, and just would like the consideration to upgrade the fields. I think from a logistics standpoint, we are practicing sometimes late into the evening, practicing all day Sunday. There's not enough room to have a football game, flag football and baseball at the same time without worrying about kids getting hit with balls. The sidewalks are cracked, our lights are old. It's just, they're dated facilities for what is a really up-and-coming area, not only residentially, but also athletically. And I appreciate all your consideration and everything you do. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And then lastly, Catherine McKinney.
Catherine McKinney from Franklin. And first of all, I wanted to thank you all for your service. And thank you for allowing me to express my opinion. I'm speaking about the College Grove, really more about the bond. It's concerning to me, the debt, because debt is accumulating debt, as we probably all have some experience of that in here, is a little bit like any bad habit, right? The more you do it, the easier it is to do. Exhibit A is the federal government, okay? I don't know how we're going to pay $37 trillion back. I don't think it's out of control. But we're over $1 billion in debt in terms of nationwide, a relatively small county. And I could tell you just walking around Franklin how there's a lot of things that would be awesome to do, for the county to do in the unincorporated areas. I mean, there's lots of really beautiful areas that could have parks, trails, all kinds of stuff. And the problem is you are given the responsibility of judgment, okay? Priorities. And when you are assigning debt, you're crowding out other services, right? That's what happens with debt. And it would be awesome if some government somewhere could please have a policy where new things you want to do, you've saved money over here. You know, you're not adding debt. That's what most households have to do. So I don't understand why, we're constantly looking at new debt. So I would really urge you to reconsider and look at. I think there are ways that the county could raise money doing things like this, but these are all considerations. And again, it goes to judgment. And I would just ask you to not increase our debt. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that concludes our citizen communications. Moving on to communications and messages, we have 3 proclamations this evening. The first proclamation proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention Month. Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Mr. Chairman, we were going to have someone here to present it to. I'll make it short. In your folder, this is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. All of us know there's a tremendous amount of service and suffering that becomes from this most disruptive and traffic event If you will allow me, Mr. Chairman, just simply say that I have signed on the line we put the seal on to acknowledge and recognize this as Suicide Month for the month of September 2025. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. When we did the minutes, we did 2 Junes and an August. What about July?
We don't have the July. He did send them out. He's already texted me, and I told him we'd put them on the October meeting.
Okay. It's been brought to my attention that we didn't approve the July minutes. Those aren't quite ready yet, and we will, if it's okay with everyone, put those before you for your approval on the October commission meeting.
They were ready, and they were sent out in the packet.
They have been sent out in your packet, so why aren't we voting for them?
You're welcome to do so.
Does everybody have the July minutes
July 14th.
and has had a time to look at them? Anyone? Well, I guess I'll ask for a motion to hear and possibly approve the minutes of the July meeting. Do I have a motion?
Yes, motion and second.
Commissioner Greg Sanford with the motion, Commissioner Lisa Hayes with the second. I'm going to call that to a vote, do I?
Yeah.
All right.
Voice
If you're well, this will be a voice vote. If you're in favor of,
I haven't looked at them. We corrected the one issue that I reported, right?
you know,
I
that,
have to ask the clerk.
I think Jeff told me we did.
Yeah, they did. They're correct.
okay. If you're in favor of not doing it now, but having a vote on the approval of the minutes of October, signify by saying yes.
No.
Yeah.
All right, you've asked for a motion to approve the July minutes.
Right, you can just
right
vote
now.
the approval.
Okay. I thought we might have a debate on it or something, but all right. I'm making things more complicated than they need to
A
be.
motion and a second has already been
So I have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve or not approve the minutes of the July meeting, 14th meeting. This will be a voice vote. If you're in favor of the minutes for the July 14th Commissioner meeting, signify by saying aye. Aye. And you're opposed? It passes unanimously. All right. Now, thank you for bringing that to our attention, Commissioner Hayes. Next, we have a proclamation proclaiming September as Library Card Sign-Up Month. Again, Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, that this is Library Card Sign-Up Week, and all of us know our Jessica, the head librarian here in the county, whereas libraries are fundamental to education, imagination, opportunities, offering everyone everything from early literacy programs to digital tools that support learning and personal growth. Libraries welcome all people, serving as inclusive and acceptable community hubs that connect individuals across cultures, generations, and experiences. Libraries help individuals navigate life's challenges by providing trusted information, digital access, job search support, and connections to essential services. Whereas in times of both crisis and calm, libraries and their staff remain steadfast in supporting and strengthening their neighborhoods. Whereas library resources help households save money, reduce waste, and make sustainable choices, all through the simple power of a shared public good. Be it resolved that I, as Rogers Anderson, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Library Card Sign-Up Month.
I just want to also thank some of my team members that are up here and the work that they do day in and day out at all of our 6 locations throughout the county. So if you if you don't have a card or if you need to renew it, please do so this month in particular. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have a proclamation honoring the Brentwood High School Bruins lacrosse team. Commissioner O'Neill, Commissioner Webb, Commissioner Richards, and Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
All right. I was excited to learn that the ladies won their state championship. My daughter played for this team a while back for the same coach, so it was personal to me, and I appreciate them coming tonight to accept this. Whereas Brentwood High School girls lacrosse team won the inaugural TSSAA Division I AA state title held at Ravenwood High School on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. And whereas in a much anticipated championship game, the Brentwood girls lacrosse team defeated the Cookeville Cavaliers by a score of 14-4. Wow. In a hard-fought championship game demonstrating their determination to succeed. And whereas the Brentwood girls lacrosse team are members of the most competitive region amongst public high schools in the state of Tennessee. They finished the season 8-3 overall, 3-1 in league play. The league loss to Franklin was avenged when they faced Franklin in the semifinals, in which they won 10-7. This required grit and determination, excellent coaching, and teamwork. And whereas the 2025 season marks a historic milestone for the Bruins as they made their first state championship for the TSSAA and are the 2025 state champions, a testament to their dedication and competitive spirit. And whereas Brentwood Bruins boast 4 all-region players, 3 all-state players, underscoring the individual and collective talents of the players and the outstanding coaching leadership. And whereas the Brentwood Bruins overcame past challenges, having been state runner-ups in 2019 and 2022, and this year defeating both Ravenwood and Franklin to claim the TSSAA Division I AA Region 3 championship. And whereas the success of the 2025 team will be remembered as a defining chapter in Brentwood High School's athletic legacy and one that underscores the strength of teamwork, perseverance, and school spirit at its highest level. This is the part that makes me nervous. Whereas the 2025 Brentwood Girls High School lacrosse team members and coaches include the following. Nervous because I don't do well with names. So here we go. Offensive players: Aria Burton, Emma Peasy, don't need to question myself, Elizabeth Ward, Sloan Simmons, Jennison Scott, Sydney, yep, what he said, Laxmo, Ava Sandberg, Aubrey Cohn, Isabella Romero, Pally McMullen, Charlotte McMullen, Lucy McMullen. Mom and Dad aren't listed, sorry. Olivia Calise, Camille Taylor, Savannah Graham, and Mia Capel. Defensive players: Addie Grace Johnson, captain, Skylar Waxmo, Eva Morrison, Madeline Rhodes, Ella Christopher, Olivia Peasy, Sophia Griffiths, Carolyn Andrews, Georgia Nelson. Coaches: head coach Heather Dobbins, assistant coach Mindy Cohn, and assistant coach, who is here with us this evening, Bradley Simmons. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session this 8th day of September 2025 hereby congratulate the 2025 Brentwood High School girls lacrosse team and recognize their level of excellence exemplified collectively as a team, and that they be a source of inspiration for future generations of athletes. It is signed by David Neal, Paul Webb, Chris Richards, and Tom Tunnicliffe, your county commissioners. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you all for being here, and quite an achievement. Lastly, under communications and messages, we do have one late filed resolution, that being Resolution 92554. Judge Guffey is here to answer any questions on that resolution and has requested, if we are going to hear it, if we could kindly move it behind Resolution 29, which is the other resolution that she is here to speak to if needed. So are there any objections to hearing late filed Resolution 92554? Seeing none, we will hear that, and we can, if you will, place that in your agenda behind Resolution 29. On to reports of county offices. Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. If I could have Phoebe step up to the mic and give us a snapshot of the financial picture we've had for the last 30 to 45 days.
Good evening, Commissioners. I need to direct your attention to two items that were included in your packet this evening from the Comptroller's Office. And we do need to get these, make sure these are read into the minutes of this evening's Commission meeting. The first is your report on debt obligation for the lease with Axon Enterprise. I know the county has spoken of this many times and has already approved the lease. However, this is required by the Comptroller's Office to make sure that we enter this into the minutes so that you are aware of the total cost of that lease, and as well as list out the obligations per year on what we will be obligated for the next 9 years. So this is a total lease of $21,852,000, and you can see in your packets we are allocating this over 9 years. The other item is the letter from the Division of Local Government Finance, which constitutes approval by their office of the county fiscal year 2026 budget. The office did identify two items for your attention. These are not findings. These are just brought to you to make you aware for future reference. The first item was for the general purpose school fund balance, and this is for using fund balance for reoccurring expenditures. The second was for general purpose school fund. It is that the projected end of fiscal year is less than 1 month's average spending. The comptroller recommends 2. Again, as I state, this is not findings. This does not make the fund unstable. However, it is just to bring your attention so that you can plan for the future. The other item, and excuse me, I'm a little hoarse tonight. The other item on your desk I included is a list of projects that will outline what is included in the resolution that you will see later, Resolution 92533. And that is the general county projects that will be included in the upcoming ask for bond in November, that we will go to market in November for. So I just wanted to make sure in committee, the printouts did not print very well, and it was hard to read some of those projects. So I have included that on your desk, and that's what makes up that 21.2 or 21.6. July was a good month for privilege tax and education impact fee both. Our privilege tax collections for the month of July was a little over $1 million, and for education impact fee, we collected a little over $1.7 million. In our conference center collections, we did incur a small loss for the Cool Springs Conference Center for July in the amount of $22,040 for the month. However, I am happy to report for the fiscal year end, we did have a profit of $355,435. This brings our total profit since we have taken ownership and had ownership of the Cool Springs Conference Center. This has brought that total profit up to $4,673,332 for the county. If there are any additional any questions, please let me know. I'm going to keep my comments a little brief tonight.
Any questions or comments for Ms. Riley? I see none.
Thank you.
If I can interject here before we introduce Superintendent Golden, probably should have, no one asked for this, but it occurred to me that we have members of the audience here that are here to hear the resolution concerning College Grove. If it's okay with my fellow commissioners, I'm thinking it would be best for the audience to respectfully move those two resolutions, those being Resolution 33 and 38, up to the front. Do I hear an objection to that? Hearing none, we'll move 33 and 38 up to the front of the agenda once we go into appropriations. And I'm sorry, yes, County Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could, we've got two reports tonight. One of them we will hear for sure. I don't see the other person here, but is Mike Madison on the Greenway Master Plan that we've been conducting over the last several months. Mike?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. As Mayor Anderson said, we have been conducting a Greenways master plan focusing on the unincorporated areas of the county. I know you all are aware of that, and some of you have participated in some of the public meetings. We're fortunate to be working with a company called Design Workshop, in particular their Raleigh office on this. Design Workshop has extensive experience working on Greenway master plans across the country, really, and they've been doing a terrific job on this project. Their project manager is Benjamin Boyd, and we've asked Benjamin to give you just a brief update this evening. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Boyd.
Good evening. Thank you, Mike, for the warm introduction. Excuse me. Again, my name is Benjamin Boyd. I'm a landscape architect with Design Workshop, and I'm going to run you all through a brief presentation on the multimodal Greenways master plan that we are currently in the middle of. Just a little bit about the project. The project is funded by a federal Safe Streets for All, or SS4A grant. We're kind of one part of the project. There's another team also working on roadway safety. And when both of our teams' work is done, we'll put those together and create an action plan. The purpose of that action plan is to, again, apply for another portion of the SS4A grant implementation funds. SS4A is funded through next year, 2026, the last year of eligibility. So it's important we all get finished with our work so we can then go for funds for implementation portion of potentially some of the plans. What is a Greenway plan? So this, I want to stress, is an aspirational plan looking at the entire county, but mostly at the unincorporated areas, looking at ways that we can tie multimodal pathways, so for different users, and resource corridors, things like the Harpeth Blueway, easements, other places that we can share in a little bit here, and put them together to create greenways where people can connect and use those for both recreation, other uses. We are right here between 5 and 6, really, of the planning process. So the whole first portion of the project was doing a robust inventory of the county. We like to call it a windshield inventory. We did a lot of driving around, but also looking at GIS maps, other things. Looking at other counties, what your peers are doing, how much money they're spending, where they're spreading things out, what their users are saying as well. Setting goals with the public in both the county as well. And then we did, which I'll go into here in a second, in March, a little earlier in the year, our first public workshop. We also did a survey as well, tried to get that out as best we could to get feedback on what people are using right now, how are they using the current greenways that are in Franklin, Brentwood, and other areas. Now we're about to have on the 23rd public workshop number 2. We'll have another survey. We'll work on our plan, continue to refine it, and then have a final here towards the end of the year to share the results of our work. So just in brief, the first community workshop, we had over 75 attendees. I know some of you showed up, and we really appreciate that and the feedback that you gave us. We had great survey responses, over 1,700 survey responses. And then to the right there, just a little bit of a breakdown of the kind of folks that were coming there out and interested in greenways. A lot of families interested in using this as an amenity and connecting between parks and other places. Those users, you can see a breakdown here. A lot of cyclists, a lot of people who are interested in nature. But just because the number's small, we also had a really vocal, equestrian group that came out and talked to us a lot about what their needs might be and how they might pair with greenways. What they said most to us was that they were really interested in improving health, improving preserving natural resources, about safety, and about property values and growth. It's a big point of conversation. They wanted to prioritize really connecting places and offering a variety of experiences that the county already has, so many amenities and other scenic places around that they wanted to get to. Their top destinations were parks. We talked a little about waterways, natural areas, and then connecting, food and beverage and places in development. So the next slide I'm going to show up is our plan. And again, I want to stress this is an aspirational plan. You'll note that the lines here are very large and they're showing places that we want to connect. They're not showing, individual routes over properties or anything at this point. This is based on both the feedback that we got about priorities and, us looking at all the different options and lowest potential barriers to connecting different places, where people wanted to go and how we could do it.
The blue lines you're seeing are kind of the primary pathways. You see a lot of them are north-south. And you also note that they don't really go into the municipal boundaries. I heard someone mention earlier, focus on unincorporated areas. This plan focuses on building off the networks that are already being implemented in Brentwood, Franklin, and other places, and expanding those out across the unincorporated parts of the county and connecting places. Within any one of those trails, there might be different conditions that we have to deal with. Typically, a greenway is anywhere from 10 to 12 feet. That's enough room for cyclists, room for people to walk around. And then sometimes they might be paired with an equestrian path here, which we've shown in each option. So typical natural landscape where we might run a greenway. They might run up by the side of a road, as you've probably seen. I think there are a couple of those in Franklin. We also like to utilize where we can get partnerships, utility easements, transmission corridors, where there's no other, particular use going on, and where we can step back from those and run these greenways through places where they're already cleared and running across the county. They might have to go into development areas, and we also wanted to look at how we might pair with a rail corridor. Big question we get asked about these, aspirational plans is how we're going to pay for them, or how you will pay for them. And there are a lot of levers in order to accomplish this. The plan isn't kind of a one, do it all at one time. It's a best case scenario, and there's lots of different ways that it can happen, and lots of different tools you can utilize in order to pay for a portion or a leg of it, or connecting one part to another as time goes on. Typical implementation strategies for how the other portion is the property, and how to get greenways onto properties, whether they're county-owned properties, federal properties, and again, those easements that we talked about as well. So that in brief is where we are with our Greenway plan. We have another workshop coming up here on the 23rd here in this building, and we encourage you and the public all to join us to hear a little bit more about how we got to where we are, and feedback on the plan as it is, and how we can refine it to better serve you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for them before I move on to Commissioner or Superintendent Golden?
Yes.
Commissioner Sturgeon, well, let's see who's first.
Turn the mic on until then. You gotta take that off for me to turn the mic on.
While they get the mic set up, I believe the first comes from Commissioner Lawrence.
I can't turn his mic on.
Oh, for the mayor, okay, we'll hold that one then. Commissioner Petty, do you have a question or comment on this presentation?
I can't get their mics on, honey.
Can't hear you.
I know that.
Yeah,
I heard your question, but I can repeat it if
well,
that's okay.
It needs to be broadcast, so let's
Oh,
give
apologize.
our IT a second to, I
Okay,
think they have
my
to.
question is, are you taking urban growth boundaries into consideration as you look at this? Because there are urban growth boundaries that are going to be developed or could be developed, annexed into the cities, and in which case a development might go right through a trail. That's what I'm asking.
That's a great question. I'll repeat it if that's helpful.
Please do, and then we'll try to get the mics working.
Are we taking urban growth boundaries into consideration? Absolutely. I think us, like everybody else, we don't have a crystal ball, and so we can really only use the tools that you all have already developed to look at places where they're developing, quickly, and where developments are going in. I think what we've found is that in other places where those planned developments are happening, oftentimes you can tie in, those developers are interested in tying into a system. So we are looking at where development is kind of projected at now. A lot of what people told us is they want to be able to, for instance, ride their bike from their house to a park. And so looking at those connections is very, very important as part of the plan, and was weighted more heavily as to where we were connecting. Thank you.
I will pause a moment while I think they have to change something in the system so the mics will work adequately. I think we just need to unplug the laptop, perhaps.
I can do that.
I've said it 5 times. Take the laptop off of the machine.
Just seeing that.
Thank you. They took it off.
Okay, now I think we got our mics working, and I'll go to Commissioner Hayes.
Hi.
There we go. Question on the time of the meeting. You said the date and the location, but what's the time of that meeting?
I should have, thank you, Mike. It's at 6 o'clock.
Okay. And then also the slide deck. I searched for it and I can't find the slide deck you shared. Is there a way we can, I mean, maybe I missed it and didn't do a good search. What's the subject of I searched on Greenway Master Plan. I didn't find it. So it could be just me.
We haven't posted this slide deck, but we'll make it available to you.
Thank you.
It's a good reminder to me to mention that there is a landing page on the county website about
Okay.
this plan. It's where we're kind of using as the main hub for surveys and pointing people to QR codes that are on all our materials are kind of pointing to that as a central location, and we're keeping it updated as we go along.
And so if I wanted to ask some questions once I do a closer review, could I call you, Mike, or both?
My email is actually on the website, and I've been
perfect.
getting folks, emailing me with their feedback, and we get it at the meeting as well. So there's a couple of different ways to
Because
do it.
District 1 is directly impacting the West unincorporated district, so I would love to learn more. Thank you.
We've been looking around all over, and there's a lot of beautiful places to visit out there. So
Yes.
we're excited about what you could potentially do to connect those places.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Before I move on to Commissioner Lawrence, who I believe has a question for the mayor, Commissioner Sturgeon, did you have a question or comment? Got answered, okay. Any other questions or comments on the presentation we just saw? Or for Mike Madison? Okay, I see none.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mayor Rogers Anderson. And I'll call now on Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Mayor. Just had a question about Mr. Fay's comments about the cardboard and our I guess, recycling or trash pickup. Are you well versed? I don't see Mac here tonight, but that sounds like we're putting an undue burden on people who are collecting our trash and maybe even creating a safety issue there with that.
Commissioner, I'm not up to date. I could give you a thumbnail of it, and Mac is not here, so let me get him to send out a report why.
Okay.
If you'll allow that tomorrow or the next day.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
I also have a
Commissioner
follow-up
Hayes.
comment for the mayor. In the same issue, so because I live less than a mile from the landfill, I have heard lots of feedback. And my feedback to those constituents is, please reach out to Mac and to the mayor to make your concerns, gripes known, because I'm just one person. And I can certainly call Mac, and I have, not on this issue yet, but I have in the past, and it's like, oh, well, who is it? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like 5 people. So I've encouraged them to reach out to you all because there was no communication, and I've had people just blister me. It's like, why? I'm having to open my trash bags and flip through it. Similar to what Mr. Fay just basically detailed all the complaints I've received in one nice little package. So the biggest complaint was, why didn't we get advanced communication? Because people are showing up, and there was the first Saturday, there was a line of 15 cars at the landfill recycling center or area. They took away the huge recycling container, and we're doing these little bitty roll-offs. Not only did I hear constituents complain, but I heard employees. They were very open with me. Most of them I know because I go there a lot. But anyway, so I just encourage you to kind of deep dive into that and maybe do a communication, because it's gotten a little better. They brought the big truck, the big container back where you can put in your own recycle cardboard. So that's a little better, but the bottles is still, I heard something the other day. Even my mother complained. So anyway, I told people, just bear with us. Obviously, there's something new we're trying, but let people know at the mayor's office and at Mac's office. I've encouraged them to reach out to you because I'm just one person, and I hate I don't represent 15 people. I'd rather them talk to you. But
We'll get something out.
okay, thank you.
And Commissioner Jones, I hate to put you on the spot, but regarding this, did the Solid Waste Board set this policy, or did y'all have a meeting on it, or is this new to you too?
I don't recall it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
we may have. I missed the last one.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just curious. So we'll get that information, and thank you. All right, now I think we're ready for Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jason Golden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Commissioners, for your work. I wanted to also specifically thank you for celebrating our Brentwood High School girls lacrosse. I think I mentioned this before, but 3 out of the 4 public school championships this first year were won by Williamson County Schools. So we're very proud of that. I also mentioned, and I'm going to say it again because it's timely, the community involvement leads to successes like this. We picked up lacrosse this first year with TSSAA, but the community work that's been going on for a long time makes a difference. Over and over again, we see those examples of different community groups doing things to make this, as the mayor says, and I'm paraphrasing, a good place to live, work, and play, I think you say. So I think that's relevant, and go to school as well.
Raise a family.
And ma'am?
Raise
a family. Yeah, and raise a family. So I felt like it was worth mentioning that, just because every time I see those examples, it feels powerful to me. I do want to mention to you on a more practical note, we do have one item on your agenda that's a pass-through from state government related to a teacher bonus that state government funded. And there was one item that may be relevant to us regarding county government's work for tax anticipation note, just in case there's insufficient revenue to cover payments before property tax revenue is collected. If I'm not mistaken, it's been maybe 3 years since that's been needed, but that's just, I'm speaking for you all just a little bit on the finance side. That's just something they do annually. Certainly open any questions that you may have. Got to say my last piece. The start of school has been great. We're already 5 weeks in. We are actually sending, and actually sent late Friday our progress reports halfway through the first quarter. So it's just amazing again how time flies.
I do have a few questions on the board. First one goes to Commissioner Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Jason. Just wanted to check the enrollment. Where are we with enrollment this year?
Thank you for that. We are, I'm trying to remember the exact number. We measure that at day 20. We are right at approximately 41,500 students. We are 0.77% lower than last year. The math that we did, every grade level grew, but our total reduced because our rising kindergarten class was substantially smaller than last year's outgoing senior class. So what we see is continued growth at the grade levels every year, but older students typically. As a more specific example, our high school numbers increased and our elementary school numbers decreased. This is year 3 of what we've seen related to that. So that to me is a trend that we're seeing more growth at the high school level than at the elementary school level. Commissioner, to give you a little bit more detail, our board looks in November at our 5-year capital plan, and we'll be discussing those numbers as we revise that 5-year capital plan.
How much what's the difference now in the kindergarten versus what it was before, or maybe the difference in the outgoing high school class and the kindergarten? And why do you think that's a trend that's started in the last 3 or 4 years?
So from this year's kindergarten compared to last year's senior class, it's a 1,200 student difference.
Wow.
But again, as the years progress, those grade levels tend to grow just a little bit each year. Some of it's speculation, some of it's experience, to answer your question about why. What we hear from families is the cost of homes, and they might be saving up a little bit to come in a little bit later. I will share also from a speculative perspective, what we have seen traditionally in the private school sector is folks might send their children in other parts of the country and other parts of this region to elementary school, but when it comes to the high school courses and preparing them for college, they're willing to spend for a private school. We've seen perhaps a trend there where they're finding ways to get into the county to make sure their high school students have those opportunities. Again, projections, a little bit of speculation. We have not done a research project on that, but those are a couple of potential variables.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Golden, you didn't bring this up, but I thought I would bring this up, even though we fight with the state about adequate funding, you know. I always want to bring that up. But I do want to bring something. Most of us know about U.S. News and World Report. They do analysis of colleges as well as high schools. And the latest report of 377 public high schools in the state of Tennessee, Brentwood High is ranked number 5, Ravenwood number 9, and Franklin High number 10. Now that includes magnet schools. If you strip out the magnet schools in the state of Tennessee, Brentwood is number 1, Ravenwood number 2, and Franklin number 3. That's pretty good. I mean, that's very good. And let me also say, in the top 50 high schools in the state, of all 377 public high schools, including magnet schools, all of our schools are in the top 50. So I'll go through those real quick. Page is at 12th, Renaissance at 14th, Nolensville at 16th, Independence at 21, Centennial 22, Summit 23, and Fairview at 41. So congratulations to you and your staff. And you know, I know what you guys got to do, and not only do we have great athletics, but we have great scholars as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You mentioned great athletics and great scholars, great arts as well. We had 111 all-state arts students last year, which was up 13 from the previous year. And that's all-state band, all-state chorus, all-state theater, and I'm going to miss one, I'm sure. To your point about the schools, U.S. News and World Report reports 3/4 of the public schools in the state. So that 377 number you had, there's actually 439 public high schools. The lower 25% don't get reported. So if you factor in 41, the ranked 41 out of the 439, top 10%, all of our schools, which is pretty amazing. Again, that's not just to our excellent people, but to the whole community and the values that we put on education here. So thank you.
Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hi.
Great job. Sounds like things are looking really good here in Williamson as far as top 50 schools. I appreciate that. I looked at the data, believe it or not, in the question that one of my commissioners asked about. And you can make some assumptions. The data shows that a majority of the people that are moving here are 50 plus, mainly seniors, and I would assume that a lot of those are grandparents, because I talked to a lot of them like, I moved here for my grandkids. And the older ages, 16 and up, are coming here in larger numbers, and I think it is because they have the higher salaries to afford the more expensive homes. That's my guess. So I would think there's a trend there. But it did show that there was a decrease in the prior 10 years of the data I looked at, which went through, I think, 22 in the lower school ages. So not really surprising to hear some of that. So no surprise, but I don't know if you've looked at the August 22nd comptroller letter, but I did want to again get your feedback like I did last year on the general purpose school fund and the cash and fund balances reserves advisement. I didn't know if you had any feedback or thoughts on that.
We have. That's the letter that Ms. Riley mentioned to you, and she specified 2 recommendations.
Right.
If I may be misusing the terminology from the comptroller's office.
Right.
So we have looked at that. Our model, county model, that's been decades long, is to structure our fund balance based on the Tennessee Department of Education requirements. And the TDOE requirements are that you start each year with a 3% fund balance. And so we meet TDOE's requirements. The comptroller's office, which is a different entity, still a state agency, has those recommendations for more. So I do have some approximate numbers in my head. A 3% fund balance when we come to you with our budget is about $16.5 or so million. And so we have that much in our undesignated fund balance when we come to you annually. The comptroller is recommending 2 months of undesignated fund balance. That is somewhere close to $90 million. So our fund balance, our starting fund balance is 16 plus. The comptroller's office is recommending close to 90. That's a substantial change in our model.
Right.
So that's where we are in our relationship with you, our funding body, with how you structure income. If at some point there's a requirement for that, rather than just an accounting recommendation, we're going to have some really deep discussions related to that. As a reminder, this past year, we actually reduced our staffing by somewhere around, Rachel, 34 positions based on that slight reduction we had in enrollment last year. We're going to continue that analysis. But if that ever comes, just from a fund perspective, it's going to be a substantial change.
Okay. Thank you for the
Yes, ma'am.
explanation.
Any other questions or comments for Superintendent Golden? I see none. Thank you, Superintendent. Next, we have the hospital report, Mr. Phil Mazuka and Mr. Terry Fowler.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. As we promised in July, we're going to provide you updates on our strategic planning process as new developments arise. We're still in the early stages of a very deliberate, measured, and lengthy process, one focused on exploring all potential pathways to ensure a strong and sustainable future for providing health care to our community. One of these many options is the request for proposal, which is still not complete. Once it's finalized, it will be shared with carefully vetted and qualified potential partners across the country. While there are no additional developments to share at this time, our top priority remains the same: to provide high-quality, compassionate care to all those we serve. With that, I want to give you a couple of quick updates on new equipment that we've ordered at the hospital. So we've ordered a new cardiac CT and a new cardiac MRI. You know, we've had significant growth in our emergency room visits since we've expanded the emergency department, and we have 2 CT units in the hospital itself. And those get backed up a lot because of the volumes that we have. And so having a 3rd unit is going to be really beneficial for throughput of patients. But also, this will be the first time that we have cardiac capability on a CT in our facility. So that's going to expand what we can do for cardiology patients. Secondly, our MR, we have ordered an MR that will also have cardiac capability. And we have one MR in the hospital right now. And as you can imagine, that gets backed up too. So we will have a 2nd MR with this cardiac capability. And what's really interesting is that for hospitals our size, for community hospitals, it would be rare to have CT with cardiac capability and MR with cardiac capability outside of a larger teaching kind of facility. I was told by one of our cardiologists that to get an elective procedure on one of these units in Nashville, it could take up to 4 months to be scheduled to do that. So this is going to be really beneficial for our community, not only that they don't have to drive to Nashville to have it done, but it'll also be a quicker turnaround time to get those procedures done. So the CT, we're expecting the first patient to be taken care of on the new CT on December 8th. And for the MRI, it'll be March of 2026. And the reason the MRI is taking a little bit longer is not because of getting the equipment in, it's because of the construction that has to take place to get the room ready for the MR. So it's about a 5-month process just on construction for the MR, where the CT is much easier to get going. But our cardiologists are extremely excited about this new technology we have coming, which is really going to help continue to bolster and elevate our cardiology program. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Terry for some brief comments on our financials.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening, everyone. As you're aware, July is the first month of our current fiscal year. I'll cover some key operating statistics as well as the overall financial performance for July. For the month, we budgeted a consolidated EBITDA of $2,074,089 and came in at $2,462,800, approximately 19% ahead of budget.
From a net income basis, we came in at a loss of $145,000 against a budgeted loss of $451,000, which is a favorable improvement to budget of almost $307,000, or a 67% improvement. The summer months are seasonally lower volume months, and July volumes were light this year. You can see that in the comparison of our 13th month average, although ER visits are still growing. Collections were strong with a 1.39 day improvement in AR days. Cash balances remain good with a slight decrease mainly due to the timing of payroll taxes being paid. Days cash on hand are 107, and our debt coverage ratio is 2.52, both strong numbers and consistent with the previous months. That will conclude my report. Thank you.
Any questions for either Mr. Mazuka or Mr. Fowler? I see none.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other department heads wishing to report at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to elections and appointments. We've already done the chair and pro tem, so we'll go into both statutory committees and standing committees, and we'll take these in blocks. I'm told they have been loaded. We'll start off with the investment committee, in which I have Rogers Anderson, Karen Paris, Megan Guffey, Ricky Jones, and Greg Sanford. I'll entertain a motion. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon. Any questions or comments on those nominees? Yes. Looks like I have one from Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I noticed that all the committees are at 5 members, and that's the first time I've noticed that in the 7 years I've done this. Is there a particular reason why we changed that?
I'll call on Commissioner Webb, who I believe was the chair of that. Well, that would be the standing committees, right?
Steering. Right.
I mean, steering, yes.
At the meeting, we placed as many of the commission members as possible where they had their first and second requests. And once we had that filled, we felt like at that point, the committee felt like that we had completed the job, because to try to increase these committees to 7 would involve blowing this up, and some commissioners would not get their preferred committee because of the conflict. 2 commissioners from the same district couldn't be in the committee. So at this point, we felt that the commissioners in their 4th year know their jobs, and that with 5 there, with the emphasis that we've been speaking about lately, especially you, Mr. Chair, that if you're on the committee, you've got to show up so we have a quorum. And so I would welcome, Mr. Chair, if some other members of the steering committee would like to speak to that, but we approve this unanimously.
You have a follow-up, Commissioner Tunnicliffe?
It's good, thank you.
Any other commissioners wanting to speak to either that question or these nominees as a whole? I have Commissioner Matt Williams.
Yeah, I was on the steering committee, just to add, I guess, some color commentary to Commissioner Webb. I thought this year was extremely smooth and actually how he designated, but to answer your question, I don't think there's any commissioner has more than 3 committees, so we were trying to keep it fairly even spread across and keep the workload, because not all these committees meet at the same cadence as the other ones. I think one of the things that we did discuss there, though, is that at any point throughout the year, we can also up the number of the committee members to 7. So if there's a issue with one of the commissioners attending and having a hard time hitting quorum, we can come back and adjust that and add at a later date.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Richards.
This is kind of more of a comment from the steering committee. We mentioned how you, Mr. Chair, usually show up as a substitute for the committee meetings. This is probably a question for legal. Is that something, since he's not allowed to vote, is that something that would be necessary to change in our rules if we wanted to allow him to vote?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. It would be nice to have another voting member.
Commissioner Hayes.
So the rules are escaping me, but when someone serves as a vice chair, do we not consider them for chair the next year? Like the tax study committee?
It's been the protocol. I don't know if it's an actual rule, but it's been a protocol that we've tried to adhere to, particularly if that individual wishes to be on that committee again and serve as chair.
Okay, I was just curious why I was not.
Which committee?
Tax study. I'm on there, but
Yeah, you're on
I
there.
thought we'd,
You're on there and
Okay.
at the first meeting.
excellent. Not an issue. Never mind. Thank you.
And the chair has decided on at the first meeting, so, yeah. Okay, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, again, we'll take these in blocks. I've already named the names for the investment committee, and we again have a proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon, but I do have another question or comment, and that is from Commissioner Paul Webb.
Mr. Chair, we did speak about some changes in the standing committees. I assume we'll address those after we finish with the statutory committees.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of these nominations, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Moving on to the Audit Committee, where I have Guy Carden, Brian Clifford, and Pete Stresser. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
And nominations are approved. Moving on to standing committees, the first being Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee, where I have Bill Petty, Greg Sanford, Pete Stresser, Tom Tunnicliffe, and Matt Williams. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Now, this next committee, there has been a request for a change. I want to make sure that's the case, Commissioner Sturgeon, because you're the only one I haven't spoken with. I believe you're wanting to, okay.
Yeah.
So we've got two
Commissioner O'Neill and I are willing to,
swap.
yeah,
And I've already talked
not
to...
really swap, I'm just taking his.
Taking his place, exactly. And Commissioner Sturgeon did not serve on this committee last year, and Commissioner Torres is not on the committee, so I'm told it is allowable, but I will need a motion in a second. So I'll read the names out. Will we vote on that and then vote again? Vote on it separately? Yeah. We'll voice vote if you all are in favor of this. Again, both commissioners have requested this. That would leave us with a property committee that would consist of Brian Clifford, Ricky Jones, Jennifer Mason, Barb Sturgeon, and Matt Williams. I'll first need a motion in a second to consider that change. For a motion made by Tunnicliffe, seconded, I believe, by Commissioner Williams. Any questions or comments on making that change? Seeing none, we'll take a voice vote on the change. If you're in favor of that change, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that change is made. We now have a new property committee that would be made up of Brian Clifford, Ricky Jones, Jennifer Mason, Barb Sturgeon, and Matt Williams. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Any questions or comments on the new committee, property committee? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, it should be loaded now. If you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Next, we have the Education Committee. I have Judy Herbert, Bill Petty, Chris Richards, Steve Smith, and Drew Torres. Proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations for the Education Committee, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Next, we have the Tax Study Committee, where I have Brian Bethard, Lisa Hayes, Greg Lawrence, Mary Smith, and Commissioner Steve Smith. A proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations for the Tax Study Committee, signify by pressing yes. If you're opposed, you're no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved. Next, we have Public Health Committee. I have Sean Aiello, David O'Neill, Chris Richards, Mary Smith, and Barb Sturgeon. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Any questions or comments on those nominations? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Nominations are approved.
Just ask them to put them on their calendar so we make sure we get everything throughout the year.
Yeah, I should have read off when those meet, and I've been asked to remind each of you on these new committees to please put those in your calendar so that you get the reminders. Of course, Investment Committee meets as needed, same as the Audit Committee. Law Enforcement, and this is for the public as well, meets the third Wednesday at 5:30. Property Committee meets the fourth Wednesday at 5:30. Education Committee will meet the fourth Monday at 5:30. Tax Study Committee will meet the third Tuesday at 5:30. And Public Health Committee will meet the first Thursday at 5:30. If you can put those in your calendars, and we congratulate each of those new committee members. Now we're going to the consent agenda. It should be in your packet. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda?
Ma'am, it's not loaded.
While it's loading. All right. As soon as it pops up on your screen, if you're in favor of approving the consent agenda, oh, I need a motion in a second, that's right. Oh, I already, was that for the last resolution or this one? Okay, so we had, oh yes, we already have a motion in a second. If you're in favor of approving the consent agenda, signify by pressing your yes button when it pops up on your screen. If not, your no button. There we go. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
The resolution passes. And now we're on to appropriations. And our first resolution, which we decided to move up for those in the audience, if I can get to it here, will be Resolution 92533. An initial resolution authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $21,600 of general obligation bonds of Williamson County, Tennessee. I've got a proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Judy Herbert. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
General obligation bonds, non-school related. This is the first step in a process that allows for publication. We will come back and vote on these later, but this step has to occur so the public can be aware.
Any questions or comments? I've got my first one from Commissioner Richards.
I just wanted to make a comment. I'll be voting no on this. I know I'm one of the few who's concerned about the debt, but I wanted to let the citizens of College Grove know that right now our county budget for the debt is a larger percentage than what the national budget is. National budget, they pay about 6 to 7% of the annual budget. Right now we pay about 12%. So I can't in good conscience vote for more debt.
Commissioner Sturgeon.
Yeah, I would really like it if you could indulge me with a little bit of a description on the two projects that, I mean, I understand Kelso Park, fire engines, and all that, but I'd like to understand just an overview of what these projects are, the $9.5 million for Bethesda and the $5 million for College Grove. What's that going to get us?
This should be in,
I mean,
this
it's
was
been a
brought to you.
while since we approved the
Yeah,
first
I
one.
think this was placed on everybody's desk.
Yep.
I also think that is for the next resolution, am I correct?
But this is just the publication in the paper.
This
I
is for
know.
the publication in the paper.
Yeah, I know it's for the next resolution, but it's the bond that goes with it, so.
Gordon can come up.
And of course, Ms. Riley, you're welcome to come up,
Gordon can deal about
or Gordon. I also got a text from my
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may, I'm going to call up Gordon Hampton. He can talk a little more in depth
Yeah.
about the actual projects.
Yeah.
I did include the amounts and which projects they go to, but as far as the in-depth, I'll let him discuss that further.
Thank you.
Gordon is coming up.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Gordon.
Glad to be here. So Commissioner Sturgeon, I'd be glad to kind of recap what we were, trying to do tonight. We've had the College Grove project in our CIP for the past 5 years. We've owned the land that the new park is going to be located on for over 20 years. To the comments that some of the people made during the citizens' communication, we have deferred quite a bit of maintenance and upkeep in that park these past several years, simply because I didn't think it was a good expense, to try to push money into a park that we're hopefully going to replace with a new one. So after all these years, this is the last park in the county that has not received any major capital improvements. It's also one of the fastest growing parts of the county, as demonstrated with the additions of the new elementary school in Arrington, with the upgrades at Page Middle and Page High School, even additions at the College Grove Elementary School. So the growth in that part of the county also justifies these upgrades. What we're asking is that the commission approve over the next 2 budget cycles $10 million. I think Phoebe has adjusted this year's budget to cut that ESC down to $5 million. And then this will allow us to get the project started. We can't conclude the project in 12 months, and then next year we'll need the additional $5 million to finish that portion out. The project itself will include ball fields, and then it will include amenities that they currently do not even have in the community, such as a multi-purpose soccer and football field. We'll be able to put some additional amenities out there like dedicated pickleball courts. We will not be building tennis courts. Tennis courts are being brought online just less than a mile down the road by a private individual, so we're not going to duplicate services. We've got somebody from the private sector that is building tennis courts, so we will not be using any of this money to design tennis courts. We're also working with a developer. There is a developer that is 2 developers actually that has property that is adjacent to our park. We're going to share a sewer system with this development. We've been working with the folks in planning and in wastewater to get in their sewer system. The advantage to that is that, one, it's a much more efficient way to get rid of wastewater. Number 2, it allows us to use the entire portions of our 40 acres for recreational use, which means we don't have to set aside so many acres for septic fill lines that could possibly have to be replaced years to come. So this is also a timely situation, and that we work in cooperation with a partner to take care of the whole matter when it involves wastewater. But the park itself is going to be, recreational in nature. We have to do this for a couple of reasons. One, there is a need in the south end of the county for another emergency fire station and down the road ambulance location. The reason that we have 40 acres at this site, we started out with 30. When it was identified for insurance purposes and other safety-related issues that another EMS station was needed in the south end of the county, EMS purchased 10 additional acres where we currently had the 30. In exchange for that, we're giving up the front portion of the existing park so that they'll be able to locate a new fire station. It's also important to locate that fire station because there is a railroad track that's just right beside it. Most of the growth in that part of the county is on the west side of that railroad track. This gives the opportunity for the fire station to be located on the side of the railroad track where most of the growth has occurred. Therefore, there's not any safety condition that will exist on trying to cross the track with a train on it. So you put the fact that we're going to be within the next few years, and Connor's here, I'm not sure, I can't speak to the timeline for that project, but there will be on the existing site a fire station, which is going to mean we've got to move the park back anyway. So that is probably as good as an explanation that I can give about the whys. The amenities that are there, we haven't really completely settled on that yet because we will have a meeting with the community to give them an opportunity to sit down and make sure that we are designing the park so that it'll be user-friendly for what they're wanting to do, what they're wanting to see. We'll make sure that we take all that into consideration before we actually have everything that I could, really commit to you that these are the things that are going to be there. And then finally, the last piece of this is that a month or so ago, we were fortunate enough to receive almost $4 million in grant money through TDEC. Of that grant money, approximately $2,260,000 of that is dedicated to the Grassland Park. And it's dedicated for a specific purpose, and that is to put a artificial turf multi-purpose field there. There's been a lot of questions about turf, so I want to get the
Grassland.
No, I'm sorry, College Grove. College Grove. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you thinking Grassland. I associate you with Grassland. I'm sorry. At College Grove, the TDEC grant is going to be used for a multi-purpose turf field, but they'll be able to play soccer, lacrosse, flag football, all these programs that they've never been able to offer out there. If we don't fund this park, we have to forfeit that grant money back to the state of Tennessee. And, and they need those amenities out there. We have the state that's willing to help us. So that pretty much is a capsule of what we have going on. So yes, ma'am.
Can you also go over the Bethesda, because that's $9.5 million.
Okay. So Bethesda is something that we have been committed to probably for 4 years now. When we purchased that property, we've done this in phases. So we purchased it, it sat there for several years, and then we started developing. The first 2 phases included the soccer and playing surfaces, as well as the tennis and pickleball areas, and all the parking. It also included a lot of the civil work and site work for the rec center that this $9 million is going to be appropriated for. So what we did, once again, in similar fashion to what I'm asking you to consider for the College Grove project, was that because this overlapped and went over into additional budget cycles, we didn't ask for all the money at once, so we're just sitting on top of it and paying interest on it. We're trying to spread it out a little bit and use it as it comes due.
So how much have we already committed to the Bethesda Rec Center, and how much, is there any more you're asking for after the $9.5 million?
So the $9.5 million we haven't started construction yet, nor do we have the actual final pricing in for the design of the rec center. We're hoping that it's going to come in within budget. We'll make do with what we have. However, we have learned, and this has nothing to do with anything that we're voting on tonight, but there could be additional money needed in next year's budget for a traffic study. Well, actually, for some road improvements in front of where the traffic will be going in and out of the facility. We're having a traffic study done right now, and we're actually having an engineer come in and give us a price tag on what it's going to cost to do that. But once again, from a time and funding standpoint, we don't have to worry about that right now. But there could be additional money.
Okay, so how much have we spent already? Buying the land, doing phase one, all that?
So to date, we are at about 14 million. And the budget for the final phase, which also includes the library, the construction budget on that is, Phoebe, is it right at 30 million?
For a total of
44
million.
Yes, ma'am.
That answers my question. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I really appreciate all this information. It's exactly what I was hoping you would tell me.
All right, glad to be able to do it.
Commissioner Petty.
Yeah, I'm totally in favor of this project. My problem is how we pay for it. Back in 2017, our total debt was $592 million. Now it's over $1.2 billion. It's grown that much in 8 years. The cost each year to pay for these bonds that we're floating grew from $93 million last year to $109 million this year. We're going in the wrong direction. I think the project is needed. I have no problem with that. What you present makes a whole lot of sense. I understand what the people are saying, but we got to find another way to pay for this thing. We got $100 million in our fund right now. Pulling $5 million out of that would not be a big deal. I think we should start paying for things as we go, and I'm a no vote for that reason. Not because I don't like the project. I think it's a great idea, but how we pay for it that bothers me.
Before I go to Commissioner Hayes, just a point of correction. I believe, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, and it doesn't change your point, Commissioner Petty, but $500,000 in debt would have been around 2010, I believe, and not 2017.
No, I just pulled it up and looked at the report, the debt report from 2017, unless I was mistaken. Phoebe can check me, and it was $592,000.
Okay. Well, again, it doesn't change your point, and
I'm sorry, $592 million. Excuse me, I was wrong.
I was wrong too, yeah, 500.
Yeah, I wish it was 1,000.
Yeah. So we both stand corrected. Commissioner Hayes.
I want to reiterate what Commissioner Petty just said. I'm actually quite saddened that this park has gotten to this point. It's really sad that in Williamson County, we've allowed a park to look so bad and get so run down. I mean, it's really heartbreaking, actually. It's the whole kick the can down the road syndrome that we've done also with the jail and many other things. So I don't disagree. I think they deserve much better. And I think this is needed, but my concern again is how do we pay for it? And I don't like incurring more debt. I think we should try to pay for it out of current funds. But of course I thought that as well with some of the raises that we projected, and then now we do a tax increase. So that's my biggest concern is how do we pay for it? And I'm going to put a little plug in for Leapers Fork, which is really a sad little rec center that needs some light and love shined on it. So I'd like to see something in the future with Leapers Fork. I mean, I went there 3 times in the last month, closed. No schedule posted, no nothing. And it's like, people can't use the facility when they don't know when it's open and they don't know what's going on. And so we can talk more about that later, but that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Commissioner Herbert.
All right. Commissioners, I'm asking for your support for funding the Bethesda Park and the College Grove Lions Club Park. Bethesda Park, it was actually approved last year, but not the funding. It's like 100 years old. Has anybody's ever been there? I can't even begin to explain how it's fallen apart. and the College Grove Lions Club Park. My sons played on those ball fields 25 years ago, and it's exactly the same as it was 25 years ago. It hasn't changed one bit. The ballpark was originally built by the Lions Club over 60 years ago on 7.4 acres, which was donated to the county by the Lions Club. Then over 20 years ago, my father had the foresight to encourage the commission to purchase an additional 30 acres to expand the park in the future. Well, the future is here. This area has grown tremendously since then. It is one of the fastest growing areas of the county, and I'm asking you to fund this park. Thank you.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
So first off, I just want to say thank you to the parents, not just for all the emails. I think we got 60 plus emails. My inbox is probably still filling up. And I really appreciate the thoughtfulness in the comments and just the perspective. And it wasn't just parents that reached out, it was also residents in that area that used to use those parks long ago. I don't know how many of you have actually been to the College Grove Park, but I would really suggest that you do go and take a visit. I've been out there several times. My kids played basketball at the gymnasium. We played baseball. It was full. It was a busy program, so we played baseball in Nolansville. But it's also not just about the condition of the facilities, it's the location. There is nothing else out there for these residents. This is all they have. And if you go there any day of the week, you're going to see little kids playing on the playground. You're going to see coaches out there in the fields. And these parents are dedicated, and they're good people, and they're doing everything they can to keep these fields safe. And there's some very unsafe conditions. I'd be more than happy to share the pictures that I took when I was there yesterday. So while I am very sensitive to debt, I think I've been pretty vocal about the debt and us incurring more debt. I would like to, maybe Phoebe, Gordon, if we can look at if there's a potential to fund this in other ways other than taking out debt. We really need to find ways to do that because nobody wants to see our debt go out. We want a legacy of community, we want a legacy of gathering, but we also don't want to leave a legacy of debt to our kids. So we've got to think smarter in how we fund these, and we've got to look for other revenue streams. And Gordon, I think you have the best opportunity of anybody in this county to look at how we can increase the revenue so that we don't have to wait and kick the can down the road, and we can start to do some of these things sooner rather than later and not have to take out debt. I am really happy to hear about the traffic study in Bethesda. I hope as part of that, we might be able to help some of the residents out there that are concerned about crossing the road to get their mail, because I know that's been a big concern of a few folks that I've heard from. So I am happy to hear that, and I am 100% supportive of getting the College Grove Park going, but I would really, really like us to continue to have conversations on how we fund these other than through debt. Thank you.
I would like to make one comment, though. I've heard several people talk about unsafe conditions. Believe me, this Parks Department would not operate a park that was unsafe. Our staff goes out there, the folks, it may not be the best park in relationship to it being new, but I can assure you that it is not unsafe. The playing fields, we don't have any accident or incident reports major that I know about. I don't even know about Band-Aids being issued. So I would like to make sure that everybody understands that this department will not, never, ever operate an unsafe park.
Thank you for that. Commissioner Sanford.
My question for Connor Scott, if you can come up here real quick, please. Director, if you would, let the commissioners know if this is approved, how long it's going to take to get this fire engine in Triune if we order it today?
It depends on the sequencing at the manufacturer. We probably are about 3 years away from having that fire engine. Sometimes we're able to get lucky and get build slots because other departments cancel their orders, but probably about 3 years away.
Thank you. So this is concerning to me, right? A no vote on this is putting my citizens in District 5 at risk. We currently operate the Triune Fire Station with a mini pumper that was taken from Arrington, and we need a new fire engine up there. We are in District 5, along with District 2, one of the fastest growing areas of this county. It's concerning that some commissioners up here are putting my citizens at risk. You just heard Director Scott, it's going to take 3 years to get this fire engine.
We need a new one in Arrington. Ours is 24 years old, is that correct? 25, 26, somewhere there. 24, 25 years old, folks. Can's been kicked down the road long enough. I don't like being in debt. I don't operate my own household like that. And but unfortunately, everybody wants to be in Williamson County. And we're growing. My citizens, some of them are here, need this park. My citizens utilize this park. Triune, Arrington, my Page community, everybody goes to this park. It's in desolate, dire need. And for those of you who've been out there, you know what I'm talking about. I urge you to vote yes on this project, and I appreciate y'all's time.
Commissioner Hester.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also support this park because it is an incredible need. We've seen the lacrosse players tonight. To have a balanced program for young people, it can't be all academics. It has to be athletics. It has to be art. And this, we have shown many, many times how well our teams have done and how well they participated. I do have a question for Gordon. Where is the tennis park that you mentioned that's less than about a mile away from the College Grove program?
Yes, ma'am. It's there directly on Horton Highway. If you're heading north on the highway, and it's being developed, privately. They're going to have 12 indoor tennis courts there and about 22 outdoor courts. I have talked to the gentleman that is developing that with his own money, and he has assured me that there will be times for the public to be able to have access to those courts. So therefore, with that being offered right down the road like that, I didn't feel like we needed to try to duplicate those services in this park as well.
Is that Joyful Jackrabbits?
No, ma'am. I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it's on Horton Highway.
No, it's not. It doesn't have a name yet. They're in the middle of building.
No, ma'am. This project is unnamed. It's it's privately funded, and if you go down there, you can't miss it. It's a massive structure. To be able to put 12 tennis courts under roof, that's a big building.
Is it Mr. Brody?
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Okay. All right. I've heard it referred to as Joyful Jackrabbit.
Oh, okay.
So, which catches your imagination in many ways. And tell me more about this TDEC grant money. If we don't use it, we will lose it. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, because it's specifically earmarked for that. We could not divert those funds to any other use other than that because that's the way the application was written.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll echo the thoughts that this park's absolutely needed. My kids play baseball now. We play at EWA, which is in the east side of Franklin. To be fair, we don't like going down to play at College Grove. We prefer y'all come play at our park. And our park's not even the best, but it's better than what they have at College Grove. They really need this. Thousands of families use our parks every week in this county. Few things get used more than parks. Roads, schools, probably parks, I would say. And our county would be a sad state of affairs if we did not have parks in it. And some of our parks just need some improvements. The grant funding that Gordon has been talking about comes directly through my office at state government, and these bonds are to be provided as match for that. So unfortunately and sad for me, I'll have to abstain from this vote, but it's not because I don't support it. In fact, our office is contributing to the other half of that park. But I really hope it gets approved. They need it. We have to put more focus on parks in this community because it really is something that contributes directly to quality of life in this county. We've got to stop picking apart our parks to save a dime. It's something our community uses every week, thousands of them. Thank you.
Commissioner Sturgeon, you've already spoken to this, so I'll come back to you, and I'll go now to Commissioner Mason.
Thank you.
no one sitting on this commission wants to keep digging us into debt and put us in a situation where we are unable to maintain this county. That's not, no one has signed up for that. And I understand the concern about we're in debt, we're in debt, we're in debt. And that's a conversation that we continue to have on this county commission, and it really all depends on how you phrase it. I hear we're $1 billion in debt. Depending on if you count the hospital or not, yeah, we're right around that mark. But our estimated current property value in Williamson County is over $105 billion. So when you look at percentage of debt to our current property, we're at 0.89%. If you had a mortgage and your house, you only owed your debt mortgage to your house was 0.89%, you would be thrilled. But when we talk about it in this context, we throw out the B word and everybody's supposed to be terrified. And I'm not saying we lose sight that we don't need to control where we're at, but let's not have the conversation unless we're going to talk about all of it. And so we are a county that has $105 billion of current property value. And our debt percentage of our tax base is 0.89%. And we're talking about a park that not only will serve District 2, but it'll serve District 3, it'll serve District 5, it'll serve all the other districts that come into here. And the fact that we're talking about a park that's 20 plus years, 60 years, but has been on the books for 5 years, and we're talking like I don't know. I don't really know what we're doing here tonight. But people move here to Williamson County. They pay their taxes. They expect to get stuff out of it, and they do. But to continue to overlook a certain part of the county, which is the south side, I think is something that we need to be very cognizant of. And so I'm more than in favor for this project.
Commissioner Sturgeon.
Thank you. Just two things. One, I mean, I think the debt does matter, and part of handling it is curbing our spending whenever we can. I forgot what else I was going to say, but I'd like to make a motion. We always vote on these things as one huge big lump, and I'd like to break them out and vote on them separately. I know there's a vocabulary word I'm supposed to know for making the motion.
It
but
wouldn't be appropriate to this resolution. There is Resolution 38, which is following this, which outlines the projects, and you could partition the projects out in
So
that
I
one.
can't partition the funding?
There's nothing to partition. This is a bond issue for an amount. There is no partition. You could move to amend it by reducing the not to exceed amount, but you can't partition the projects on this particular
Well, it
resolution.
feels like we're putting the chicken before the egg. Why don't we vote on the projects and then the funding for them? Wouldn't that make more sense?
That's the discretion of the chair and the commission.
Chair, would you consider this?
Well, I think, so this resolution is just to post it, right?
This is the ad that goes in the paper.
The ad that goes in the paper. What I've been allowing all this time is communication because I felt we would be having it anyway on the next resolution. It may have been more appropriate for me to have ceased a lot of this dialogue and simply had it at the next resolution where I think it would be more appropriate for you to make your motion then, if you're okay with that.
Can we consider that resolution before we do number 33?
Honestly, if once you vote on 38, if you decrease the amount, it's going to decrease the amount of the bond issue. This is a not to exceed publication to allow for a bond issue farther. You will not have.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. Thank you.
So with regards to Resolution 92533, to post this bond, do I have any other questions or comments? Commissioner Petty on Resolution 33?
I just want to respond to some comments. I don't think we're putting anybody into danger. We're talking about how we're paying for it. We've got $100 million in unappropriated funds right now in the county. We could take some of that money and transfer it over. And you talk about comparisons to the total amount, I understand that we have $100 billion of value. But if you compare it to our budget, it's costing us $109 million to service our debt this year, which is over 10% of our budget. So I think people need to take that into consideration. We need to be thinking about that, and we need to find other ways to pay for these things. Again, I'm totally in favor of that project. I think it's a great idea. I want to see it happen. It's just how we pay for it that I'm concerned about.
Any other questions or comments on Resolution 92533, which again is a resolution to post this as required by law in the publications and newspapers? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 92533, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hayes. Record the vote, please. Mr. Whitby?
19 yes, 3 no, 2 abstain.
Resolution passes. On now to Resolution 92538, resolution of the intent to fund certain county general projects totaling $16,700,000 in a 25-26 bond or note issue. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
I think given the discussion we just had, I don't really need to give an explanation, but this is to fund those specific projects which we've discussed.
Any questions or comments or motions? Looks like Jennifer Mason pressed in first. Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. The 38 is talking about 16.7 million, but the breakdown we have for 33, and I may be getting confused, is 21.2 million. So can I have a breakdown of the 16.7 million?
Ms. Riley, could you speak to that?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. The 16.7 is listed on Resolution 92538. It is $1.5 million for a fire engine for Triune, $3.4 million for construction for Phase 2 for an emergency service station at Franklin First. Castle Park and Triune Riding Club is $1.8 million. And then $10 million would be for College Grove Phase 1 with a ask. The reason why the resolution for the bond is a little different is that is requesting this intent to fund for the full $10 million, but only asking for $5 million to be bonded this fiscal year.
So the Bethesda Recreation Complex isn't part of this one?
Not a part of this intent.
Thank you.
The Bethesda Recreation was already approved in the intent in last fiscal year.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Since you're up there, is there a potential between now and I guess when we actually go out to vote on the bond issue? Is there? I know you sent me the fund balances. It looks like our revenue is about $10 million over what we projected. Is there potential to lower the bond that we actually need to go to market for?
I actually did lower the bond ask for about $2.2 million. There is a resolution this evening that is asking for 2.2, and I don't have it in front of me, excuse me, but to move out the sheriff's vehicles, those 23 we are using for fund balance as well as a ambulance. So actually what we had projected for the fiscal year to ask for our initial resolution was actually more, but I did pull out a little over 2.2 million.
Okay, and I did notice that because I thought it was like 23 million that we actually voted on in the capital budgets request.
Correct.
So if we look at next year, so we're only doing 5 million this year. Next year we got another 5 million. There is a potential that we could see cost savings or various revenues that may not require us to do a bond next year for the 5 million. That is a potential.
There's always the potential depending on how good of a year we have, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Petty.
Could you come up again? I want to talk about the fire engine for Triune.
Sir?
Has it been ordered?
No, it wouldn't be ordered until the bond is issued and the money is available.
Okay, when is the bond going to be issued?
Typically, they're issued in the late fall.
Maybe.
So next month we will come to you with the actual resolution for the bond, and then we will go to market in November.
Okay, so when would we have the money so that we could order the fire truck?
I have to get your approval actually to commit for this intent to fund. Once you have committed to this intent to fund, we can start moving that process forward.
Okay, that would be next month?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to find out because I thought if we had to wait for the bond money, it would take longer before we could order it. But you're saying that's not the case? No. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 92538, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hayes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 2 no, 1 abstain.
Resolution passes. I believe our next resolution is 925-5. A resolution amending the 25-26 general purpose school budget to provide funding for approved teacher bonuses. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. School Board was 9-4-0 against. Education Committee was 6-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are state-funded bonuses through the Educational Freedom Act. I believe 3,000 of our teachers receive some bonuses based on qualifications that the state set for us. These are pass-through money.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. We're getting new motions up here for some reason. There we go. If you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 925-6, resolution of the governing body of Williamson County, Tennessee, authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of interest-bearing 25-26 general purpose school fund tax anticipation notes, not to exceed $13 million. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. The Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, as Superintendent Golden mentioned, this is just a cash flow mechanism for us. Property tax bills start going out in October, November. Typically, those payments start rolling in December to make sure that the county has adequate funds. We have these tax anticipation notes available. They will be paid back immediately. We haven't used them the last couple of years.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Stresser. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 2 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 925-8, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 assessor's budget by $8,636.99 for educational incentive salary supplements. Revenues to come from state funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
These are state funds that pass through the assessor's office to employees who have attained certain certifications. So these are just pass-through funds directly to those employees.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 925-9, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 property assessor's budget by $15,000 to provide funding for meetings associated with the related reappraisal process expenses. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
As you may recall, we had a reappraisal last year. That created a significant number of questions from the public, and the anticipated funds necessary for those meetings was exceeded, so this will help to cover those.
Looks like I have a question or comment from Commissioner Hayes. Nope.
Hadn't
All
touched
right.
the thing.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Do we know if Karen's here?
We just had the wrong resolution.
Is the wrong one on the screen?
Yes, voted on 10, but screen before had
You got the wrong one.
What do we need to do then? Because I was going to delay 10 anyway if
Karen is here.
Karen is here, okay. So what do we need to do, council?
You didn't have discussion on 10. I would say that that vote shouldn't be counted as valid, and you should go back to 9.
Okay, we're going to go back to Resolution 9. Once it's loaded on the screen properly,
It's on there.
we'll redo that vote, and then we'll go to 10. Apologize for that mishap. So we're back to 9. I'll ask again if there are any questions or comments. Again, we already have the motion in the second. Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, again on Resolution 925-9, and you're in favor of that resolution, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. You mean reload 10? Do you guys have to reload 10, or are we good? It's on the screen. Are we good? Okay. Yeah, all right. So now Resolution 10, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 County Commission Tax Relief Program budget by $150,000, revenues to come from unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Judy Herbert and seconded by Drew Torres. Any questions or comments on this resolution?
No, you need to get a chance to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Well, our trustee's here as well. She'll do a far better job of explaining. My shorthanded version, the county has provided tax relief to disabled veterans and elderly low-income homeowners. The state has a program also. State puts in their part of the funds, we put in our part of the funds. Based on our reappraisal last year and the lowering of our tax rate, the state hadn't caught up with us yet. So they have underfunded what they used to, because it's just based on our tax rate, which is now $1.30 instead of $1.88. So we'd like to not hurt those taxpayers. So the proposal is for our county to supplement what the state is not paying this year, with the hope that the state will catch up next year and get it right.
And Karen Paris, if I can call on you, because I believe one element of this resolution was voted on tonight by the FSSD School Board, and I believe you were there and might have some elements to share with us regarding this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commission. Yes, good explanation. I will say, if I may, the formula for calculating the tax relief is based on our tax rate. So as was explained, the amount for each applicant has gone down. The state funding overall across the state has remained stable, but our portion is lower. So I do appreciate your consideration of the additional funding. I'm sorry, now I forgot the question.
FSSD, did they make a vote on this tonight?
Yes. So as part of this, in addition to requesting that the commission provide additional funding, and that funding also presented tonight to the Franklin Special District and requested a little over $30,000 for them to share in the additional cost. Just to let you know, the special school district for 20 years has helped fund the Williamson County broad-based tax relief program for citizens within the special school district for their portion of the taxes. So they already step up. Their portion last year of our broad-based program was $67,000. So this additional funding will put their total commitment to a little over $100,000. And if approved, the additional funding that we're asking for tonight would move the county's budget to $1,070,000. So they are also stepping forward. That was very well received. They actually let me speak first and leave so I could come here. It had not yet been voted on, but received all positive comments from their board members.
Okay, Commissioner, got a couple of questions. Commissioner Sanford.
For what it's worth, tax study met on this tonight, and it was approved unanimously in tax study, so.
Oh, yes, that's right. Tax study did meet tonight, and What was that, 5-0, 4-0?
I believe 4-0. We had 4 in there or 5? 5-0.
Unanimous at any rate. Commissioner Hayes.
Karen, I just want to thank you tremendously for the information and the data. This large numbers in my district and Ricky's district, and we appreciate it because these are people that are important to our community and they need this assistance. So I fully support it and thank you for the data.
Thank you. It's our privilege to administer all the programs, which is 2 tax relief programs and the tax freeze program. They assist homeowners all across our county in every district. So thank you.
Any other questions or comments for either Ms. Paris or for the resolution itself? I see none. Thank you, Ms. Paris. With that, if you are ready to vote, if you are in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92511, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 library budget by $151,948.93. Revenues to come from donations, contributions, and fines. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Library Board was 8-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You see, this is the revenues we typically get, such as this first one from the city of Franklin and other donations and fines, and then you'll see the expenditures which are coming out. Some of them are specific. Those from the foundation may have some restrictions on them, but this is all for the good of the library. The director is here if anyone has any specific questions.
I think I saw the director leave, actually, but...
No, she's here.
Oh, is he? Oh, there, I'm sorry. I meant the chair of the trustees, yeah. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, and if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92512, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Health Department budget by $525. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. The Public Health Committee, which I guess there should be an asterisk here, and we can talk about that if you like, was 5-4, 0 against, although that was the old committee. The Budget Committee was, I'm sorry, it was the new committee. It was supposed to be the old committee. The Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Torres.
This is just a donation from the big backpack giveaway that was held, and the donations came in this budget year as opposed to last, so it wasn't accounted for.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hayes? No, waiting for you. It's all right.
But you need to.
Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
You can always tell when it's getting late in the evening. Resolution passes. Resolution 92513, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 county general budget by $75,056.91. Revenues to come from victim assessment fees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Out with some technology issues. Okay, so this is from the victim assessment fees, which, by the way, I will have to abstain on, but I will tell you what it is that anybody convicted of a crime, there are certain funds that are collected. Those go into a account that is managed by the victims of crime, which is managed also by the district attorney's office. We use this to bring witnesses in to testify at trial, put them up for hotel rooms, provide some type of restitution, sometimes if needed, depending, glasses broken, something like that. And again, it only comes from people who are paying court costs after they've been convicted of a crime. But because I serve on the board of the victims anyway, it's really late. So I have to abstain. Thank you. I'm just making you look good, Lisa. You know, help me out.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Mason. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
23 yes, 1 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92514, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $182,620.63. Revenues to come from donations and reserves. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. The Parks and Recreation Committee was 4-4-0 against. The Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, these are donations and fees paid by community youth associations, and then expenditures to improve and maintain certain parks and rec facilities.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Tunnicliffe, yeah. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92515, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a grant contract with the Arts Build Communities designated agency and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $2,000. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Parks and Rec Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Steve Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is grant funds from the Arts Build Communities. The Parks and Rec Department is the designated agency to receive that and implement programs involving the arts.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92516, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $75,000. Revenues to come from rollover state grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Parks and Rec Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Smith. Steve Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is obviously state grant funds previously received that need to be moved forward into this current year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Excuse me. Resolution 92517, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation Capital Improvement Program budget by $55,000. Revenues to come from recreation privilege tax funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Parks and Rec was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
These are privilege taxes being used for upgraded lighting at the Performing Arts Center.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92518, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Parks and Recreation budget by $97,000. Revenues to come from rollover state grant funds. Proper motion made by, it's not on the screen. We'll give it a moment. There we go. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. The Parks and Rec Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Steve Smith.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. This again is state grant funds previously received that need to be moved over into the current fiscal year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92519, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 general sessions budget, revenues received in prior fiscal year from state of Tennessee and unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. These are left over from grant funds from last year, so we need to roll them over to this year so they can be utilized.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Williams. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92520, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Veterans Treatment Court budget by $20,000, revenues to come from Veterans Treatment Court Reserve. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is rolling over $20,000 from the reserves to the Veterans Treatment active budget for them to use.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92521, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Veterans Treatment Court budget by $117,527, revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Judy Herbert and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is a grant that the county received from the Opioid Abatement Council for roughly $357,000 to be dispersed over 3 years. So the $117,000 is for this fiscal year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92522, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County Veterans Treatment Court budget by $302,934.31 for the Veterans Court Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Grant. Revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. These are rollover funds from the last fiscal year that were not completely exhausted that came from a grant.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby. Resolution passes. Resolution 92523, resolution appropriating $30,596.48 to the 21st District Recovery Court, revenues to come from dedicated account. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. These are fines that are collected from individuals that are convicted in the Circuit and General Sessions Court, Criminal Court of Williamson County, and these fines are being asked to go into the Recovery Court budget. And just because she sat here all night, Connie Martin is here if anybody has any questions about the 21st Recovery Court.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92524, resolution appropriating $41,996.27 to the 21st District Recovery Court, revenues to come from DUI fines. Proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against, Budget Committee 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is very similar to the last one, but these are fines that specifically come from DUI offenders upon conviction, and they're asking to release it to the 21st District Recovery Court.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92525, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 DUI Recovery Court budget by $148,309. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is for the DUI Recovery Court. It is a 3-year grant, and this is releasing a third of the grant funds for the DUI Recovery Court's use.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92526, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County General Sessions DUI Court budget by $238,819.71 for the DUI Court Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Grant. Revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Law Enforcement and Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is for the General Sessions DUI Court. It is they are asking to roll over unused grant funds into this year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Guffey. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92527, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County General Sessions DUI Court budget by $133,805.77. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is for the General Sessions DUI Court. They're asking for donated funds that went into the county general fund be released to them for their use.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92528, resolution appropriating an inter-category transfer of $22,568 between the 25-26 Williamson County Juvenile Services and Sheriff's Office detention budgets. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is a line item transfer from the Sheriff's Department to Juvenile Services, as the Juvenile Services is going to be utilizing the nurse an additional 7 hours a week.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner O'Neill, yeah. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92529, resolution amending the 25-26 juvenile services budget in the amount of $192,000. Revenues to come from state grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-0 against. Explanation, please. Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is grant that we have had with juvenile court for over about the past 10 years, and so we're asking that the grant funds be put into this fiscal year. And Judge Guffey is here as well if anybody has any questions.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Torres? We moved it up. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. This next resolution is the one we moved up to put with that one because Judge Guffey is here and can answer any questions you may have. Resolution 92554, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services for the provision and reimbursement of juvenile detention services. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. No committee met on this because this is a late filed resolution. Explanation, please, Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You can see this agreement with the state to house the juveniles here at $186.94 per child per day, and the judge is here if anybody has any specific questions.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Sanford. Yeah. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
The resolution passes. I've had a request passed to me to possibly take a recess. Want to call it 5 minutes, or do we need more than that? All right, let's recess for 5 minutes. We'll reconvene at 8:37. 8:35. Yeah, 8:35. We'll now reconvene the September 9th Commissioner meeting, and we will pick up where we left off and now at Resolution 9-2530. A resolution accepting a generous donation on behalf of the Williamson County Sheriff's Office from Mr. Jason Aldean for the purchase of for canine uniforms and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $5,000. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. So this is a $5,000 donation by Jason Aldean, which we are grateful to take, and it's going to be for a purchase of canine uniforms and canine-related equipment.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed or no? Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. And again, we thank Mr. Jason Aldean for that contribution. Resolution 9-2531, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $83,333.34. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, is Commissioner Morton? Or no, Mason?
It's still
Commissioner
me.
Mason. Sorry.
Thank you. This is a grant that the Sheriff's Department was awarded. It's a 5-year grant. It's to help with hiring and retention bonuses.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Sanford, Williams. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 9-2532, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County budget by $896,697.15 for county opioid abatement funds, revenues to come from rollover funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes, seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Opioid Task Force was 9-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
These are unspent funds from last fiscal year from the opioid abatement settlement.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 9-2534, resolution adopting the capital projects fund budget for the Williamson County Adequate Facilities Tax, the Williamson County Adequate School Facilities Tax, and the Williamson County Education Impact Fee for the 25-26 fiscal year. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. The committees were Budget Committee only, 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
As part of our adequate facilities tax and impact fees, the state comptroller's office asks that we do a capital improvement budget each year. So we do this for that purpose. This is not an intent to fund.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby. Resolution passes. Resolution 9-2535, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 County General Fund budget by $261,467.90. Revenues to come from existing budgeted funds and rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Highway Commission was 5-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
We had a presentation on this earlier. This is just rollover funds for those multimodal paths.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 9-2536, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 capital projects budget by $2,252,647. Revenues to come from county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Paul Webb. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Phoebe spoke to this a little bit earlier. This is us moving some vehicles and an ambulance out of our capital improvement budget into general funds. Some hesitation from this body on using long-term debt to finance vehicles not expected to last 20 years.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Herbert.
Can I get the sheriff to come up, please? Sheriff Hughes, I've had a couple of residents contact me and inquiring why we're getting so many Tahoes instead of a more inexpensive, cheaper version, just a regular car. Can you tell me that?
I sure can. And so vehicle or inventory in general was a primary concern that I had coming into office, and you and I have had conversations about it, and just trying to get a good handle on the vehicles we have, how we replace those vehicles, and making sure that we've got a plan in place going forward. So to your point specifically about the Tahoes, when I started out in a patrol car back in the mid-'80s, we had pretty much an AM radio and a pad of paper and a pen. Now, if you look at one of these vehicles, they look like a cockpit. You've got computers, you've got radars, you've got cameras, you've got shotguns, you've got AR-15s, and we have 12 designated field training officers. And for those particular people, I felt it was important that we have larger vehicles, because if you've ever tried, if you'll look around this room, Freddie Moore is no longer in here, but we got some. Is he here? There he is. He's back here. We've got some large individuals in our department.
He's talking about Freddie.
I'm talking about beefy, bulky, weightlifters,
muscle mass.
And they're wearing a lot of equipment, as you can see nowadays. And if you try to squeeze these people into a car with that has a computer, that has all of this equipment in there, and you're trying to train these folks in this atmosphere to where they're scrunched in, it's really difficult for a 10-hour shift. We recently come off of 12-hour shifts. It makes it much more practical and easier for these deputies to train in an environment where they have a little more space. And so for field training officers in particular, we felt like it was important to put those folks in Tahoes.
Okay, thank you. And I'm glad Freddie's taken care of.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to point out what we talked about earlier here. For the first time in many years, we are using current funds, not bond funds, to pay for these motor vehicles, the ambulances and the replacement vehicles for the sheriff. So I want to thank our budget director for finding these funds, and I think we're on our way to start paying for some of these things as we go.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Webb. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Sheriff, absolutely.
I'd just like to point out, we're very conscientious about spending the taxpayers' money. And, so as we wrap our mind around this inventory and trying to come up with a plan on how we do manage that inventory, I just want to point out that the 9 new positions that y'all provided for us in January, we're not purchasing vehicles. We're absorbing those out of our current fleet. We believe that we can do that, and we can do that without a problem. So that's a savings of about $782,000. Approximate. And I'd also like to point out in this line item for vehicles only that last year, in last year's budget, we saved approximately $275,000 out of the vehicle line item alone. So we're very conscientious about how we spend the taxpayer money. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Looks like I have a question or comment from Commissioner Richards.
Just a comment. Was this resolution thought up by the Budget Committee?
Voted on, or?
The fact to take this out of, instead of borrowing the money.
Whose idea was it?
I think that was Phoebe Riley.
This was part of the capital improvement plan that was approved by Budget Committee. I believe in July, excuse me, it's been a long evening, July, I made the comment that we were looking at existing fund balance after we closed the year to see if there was any existing funds we could pull from or close projects. I did identify that 2.2 would be pulled out so that we would not put this towards our bond. Originally, it was set to be part of the bond.
Okay, so it was you along with the budget committee?
Yes, it was me alone to make the recommendation to the Budget Committee. The Budget Committee approved it last Monday evening, or last Tuesday.
Okay, I talk a lot about the debt, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
For making an effort. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Petty?
I want to say thank you as well.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Mason? Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92542, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County Sheriff's Office budget by $5,346. Revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is exactly what it says. It's rollover grant funds that were not utilized in the last year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92544, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $40,000. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is a 5-year grant, $40,000 of it for this fiscal year, and it's for tuition assistance, training, and professional development for our law enforcement.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92545, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $73,448. Revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. The Law Enforcement Public Safety Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is another rollover grant where we did not utilize all the funding last year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92546, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Emergency Management Agency budget by $373,652.57. Revenues to come from rollover state grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is a $450,000 grant we received, and we are asking to roll over the unused balance to this fiscal year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 925-7, resolution to surplus and approve the conveyance of vehicles owned by the county and authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute all documentation needed to complete the conveyance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. The Property Committee was 5-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason. I'm sorry, Commissioner Morton.
Commissioner Mason. These are surplus passenger vans, no longer needed by the TMA.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92537, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to approve an addendum to extend the Conference Center operating agreement with Carruthers Hotel Partners, LLC, for the continued operation of the Conference Center at Cool Springs. The proper motion is made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Property Committee was 1-4 and 4 against. Budget Committee was 5-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
The management company has requested that we extend the contract. I think they're looking to refinance some properties. There's been significant discussion. I think we have a representative here, and it appears there are some questions, so I'll let them answer.
And we do have a representative here, and my first question or comment is from Commissioner Greg Lawrence.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we defer this resolution until January. I don't know why we're doing this tonight. Maybe there's a reason for the timing which Commissioner Morton just stated, but it's 2 years away from the end of this contract, and it's been a long time since we've had any discussions about the conference center, and I just think we should take a look at what our plans are for this conference center and what we want the future of it to be. And if we deferred it for a few months, it would give us some time to do that.
I have a proper motion to defer this to January's Commissioner meeting. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sanford. And I'll also mention Commissioner Stresser there. Any questions or comments? And again, we do have a representative here who might wish to speak. It looks like I have a question or comment from Commissioner Mason.
It's more for legal. If we defer this, is there a reason why we should or should not that affects the contract? And why is it before us when it seems pretty early?
The request for the extension came from the operator for refinancing. I don't know how that deferral would affect that, so it's probably best to get that answer from the operator.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you to all. Yes, we are in the process of refinancing the hotel side. And
Could you give us your name for the record? I have it here somewhere.
I apologize. Michael Sanders with
Sanders, yes.
Chartwell Hospitality, representing Carruthers Hotel Partners, LLC. The hotel is currently up for refinancing, and we're having difficulty finding a bank that will finance the hotel with the uncertainty of the conference center management agreement. As you may or may not know, that the conference center and the hotel are basically one unit. There's one kitchen that services both units. There's one power plant that serves both. There's one laundry that serves both. So it's in 2 years when that agreement expires, it could have a detrimental impact to the operation of the hotel. So banks are cautious to lend.
I have a question or comment from Commissioner Sanford.
As to the deferral.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Mason, do you have a follow-up?
Just if we were to defer this till January, as it's been suggested, what impact would that have on the financing or potential financing, refinancing?
It could have significant impact. We're currently working with a bank that is willing to do the refinancing, and this extension is what has brought them to the table.
Thank you.
And again, this is on the motion to defer. Commissioner Sanford on the motion to defer.
So again, I was kind of baffled why this came up in committee. It was 1-4, 4 against in Property Committee. Quite frankly, I have a duty to look out for my citizens in District 5 and not your hotel's interest, financial interest. You really care less about that, to be honest with you. You know, we got a new mayor coming in next year. Got several new commissioners going to be coming up here next year, and it baffles me why this is 2 years out. We're looking at this now. I think it does need to be deferred, and I fully support that.
Any other questions or comments on the motion to defer? Seeing, Commissioner Morton on the motion to defer.
Snuck it in at the last moment. Sorry about that. What's the purpose of the refinance? Is it going back into capital improvements for the facility, or is this just Chartwell
No, the
using it for its
current,
own purposes?
the current lender, without going into too much detail, there are certain tests that that property has to comply with for the loan. And we've struggled since COVID. Even coming out of COVID, it's been very difficult. And so we're in a situation where we need to refinance. I'm sorry?
Any follow-up, Commissioner Morton? Commissioner Sturgeon?
I'm sorry, I have to speak out of turn. You're saying you need to refinance to get a better interest rate? Is that what the point?
No, the current lender will not continue to finance the hotel. So we need to go, we're out searching for a new lender.
Commissioner Williams?
The current contract, what's the term of the current contract?
The management agreement for the conference center,
Yeah.
it expires on October of 2027.
When did it begin? What was the original term?
Started in 1999, and it has been extended a few times, with the latest, I believe, 2013? 2013.
So we've had the same management agreement in place since 2013 through 2027?
Different operators.
And if it gets, I mean, in the spirit, I mean, look, I like when we have private-public partnerships, right? You want to be good partners. Is it necessary to consider a 10-year extension? Is there a shorter term that would suffice your needs in regards to your refinancing efforts?
I personally don't know the answer to that. I'm not working with the bank. Our development team is. Anything shorter than that, I would assume, is causing concern with a lender.
Commissioner Clifford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You seem to be hinting at some dire situations with this facility. I don't know what you're at liberty to share with us, but it seems you're getting some pushback on potentially getting this across the finish line. I wonder if you had a shot at this, maybe a month later, you might be able to bring back a picture for us to understand what's at stake, because I'm having a hard time understanding what's exactly at stake if we don't approve it. What position does that put the facility in? Is it going to be something that impacts our community to the point where maybe we lose something we really don't want, or something happens we don't want? I'd encourage you to maybe figure out a way to present a good picture to this commission. And maybe instead of deferring it till January, maybe we bring it back in a month and see if you can give us a little bit better story to understand why we might need to approve or not this agreement. So I will make a motion to amend the amendment.
It's not an amendment, it's a motion to defer.
Motion to amend the motion to defer till next month's meeting.
Or for simplicity, does Commissioner Lawrence wish to change his original motion? And of course, we'll need that from the second as well. Okay, the motion, Commissioner Sanford, do you agree with changing the original motion to defer from January 1st to the October meeting?
Reluctantly, yes.
Okay. So the new motion and second on the floor is to still defer the resolution, but now to October instead of January. Any questions or comments on that motion to defer? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the motion to defer this resolution to October, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
23 yes, 1 no.
Okay, motion to defer passes. So we'll move on from there. I don't need to- yeah. Thank you. Next resolution, Resolution 92539, resolution appropriating and approving and authorizing the county mayor to execute the medical and prescription benefit plan contract with Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company. Proper motion made. When it comes up on the screen. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe.
Wait, that's the wrong one.
Oh, that's the last one.
Adrian.
39. There you go.
All right, we'll look for a new motion and a new second on Resolution 92539. Proper motion made by Commissioner Lisa Hayes, seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. The Purchasing and Insurance Committee was 4 in favor, 1 against. Budget Committee was 5 in favor, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This is just authorizing the mayor to obtain group health insurance for the county employees.
Any questions or comments? Looks like the first question or comment is from Commissioner Richards.
Yeah, I went back and looked at the last time we had approved this, and by we, I don't mean me, I mean the county commission. It was back in 2019, and I believe that was for starting the 2020 year, and this is probably a question for legal. By my math, that's 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. That would be 5 years. So the contract that was approved in 2019 expired at the end of 2024?
Incorrect. The contract was actually signed in September of 2020 for a term of 5 years.
So why was it approved a year earlier in 2019?
It took quite a while of negotiation after the approval of the plan and the authorization for contract. I can't speak as to why it was done in that June of 2019.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question for council. I see where we have a 60-day out on this, so we can terminate, it looks like, if we want to, within 60 days, which is good. So we're not locking ourselves into this for 5 years, but there is some clauses in here about modifications of the agreement, and my question would be, if we decided that we wanted to take a portion of the administration away from Cigna, such as the drug program, and carve that out and keep the rest of the Cigna services for the medical plan, in your opinion, do these two clauses on page 9 under modification of the agreement, items 11 and 12, would that constitute give us the ability to do that if we wanted to carve out the prescription program?
The modification, there are two modification provisions. One's the modification of the agreement. So it would have to be agreed upon with Cigna to allow the modification of this agreement. The modification of the plan, of course, allows you, the county, to provide notice of modification of the plan documents, but that's not what you're talking about. So no, it would not. You would have to terminate it or reach agreement with Cigna to allow that to be removed from the contract, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, your ultimate leverage is you've got an out. You can
Okay.
say, if we don't do that, we're going to terminate the agreement. But they'd have to agree to amend the agreement, as opposed to, and if you terminate the agreement, then you'd have to go through the process of reaching a new agreement with another party or with Cigna, minus that. But you couldn't just modify the agreement without their approval or agreement to do that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yes, I just had probably a question for Gina. So just as a point of clarification, our policy and our coverage is the same for county as it is for for schools, right? There's no difference.
Everything is the same, yes.
Okay, because there was some confusion that they thought the school actually sets their own coverage and policies. Okay, thank you.
No, everything's the same.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Torres.
Chair, Mr. Mosley, this is for just on the termination clause. Is it for convenience or is it performance related?
Not the easiest document for me to find things.
And I apologize, I should have texted Chairman Beathard to give you a heads up. It's 86 pages. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's there.
It just states that it can be terminated effective on the date at least 60 days from the date the county provides written notice to the administrator of termination of the agreement, or no less than 30 days before the anniversary date of the plan. Okay, so you have two different termination dates. The 60 days is relative to just written notice. The 30 days would be prior to the anniversary date.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 1 no, 1 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92540, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the town of Thompson Station concerning law enforcement coverage. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Megan Guffey. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. As we all know, Thompson Station does not have a police department. Therefore, we have historically contracted, or they've historically contracted with us for us to provide coverage. And each year we have looked at negotiating that cost, and it's increased. And I know this year it's up to how much, Sheriff? $250,000, which I believe is double from what it was before.
Commissioner Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This came up at budget, just the ability of Fairview to pay, and we were kind of comparing Fairview to
Thompson Station.
Thompson Station, excuse me. We were comparing Thompson Station to Fairview. And so I did some looking. Fairview's population is 10.5 and Thompson Station is 9.6, according to the Comptroller's Office in 2024. That's their estimate from the Comptroller's website. The Fairview budget is $15.4 million in the general fund, 15.4. Thompson Station's is 11.9, so a little bit less. Here's the key thing. Of Fairview's budget of 15.4, 3.1 million is for fire. Thompson Station doesn't even list it. It's zero. It's not significant in that 11.9. So Fairview, with a population very similar, is spending 3.1 on their police department. They're actually spending 2.7 on fire. So a third of their budget is going toward public safety. And that pretty much does what Brentwood and Brentwood and Franklin do. They spend approximately half of their budget on public safety. A comment made was that Thompson Station felt like they couldn't afford it. So here's another part of that. The tax rate, the current tax rate in this year's budget for the city of Fairview is 59 cents. The tax rate in the town of Thompson Station in this budget year is 10 cents. I believe they could afford it if they wanted to. So I'm going to vote for this, but I keep telling folks, be a town or turn in your charter. Being a town means providing for your folks, and in this case, Thompson Station is relying, they're the last one that's doing this, they're relying on the county to provide the fire service through all the taxpayers. My district's paying, the same tax rate as Thompson Station, so I'm being double taxed. I'm taxed in Brentwood for a fire department and a police department, and my county taxes are going to subsidizing the town of Thompson Station. Now, thank goodness we eliminated that with Nolensville. They have their own full-fledged fire department now. So it's time, and I'll say to you, it's time for this body to take a stand and say, Thompson Station, you need to step up and pay your way. Either pay your way or develop your own fire and police department and not depend on the rest of the taxpayers. So think about it. Their budget doesn't even list public safety at all, and it's 10 cents versus Fairview, similar size city, is 59 cents. Just want to throw those facts out there. And my numbers come from the Comptroller's Office, the city's, their own budget resolutions, and then, of course, our own county tax trustee and property tax assessor to get the rates. And these rates agree, 59 cents and 10 cents. So thank you, Mr. Chair, for letting me express my frustration. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Commissioner Petty.
Sheriff Hughes, I have a question for you. How much does it cost us to protect Thompson Station each year for our sheriff's department?
Based on a reallocation study we just completed, Captain Chris Mobley and our agency did that assessment, and that has recently been shared with Thompson Station. I actually went over there and spoke with them at their work session, I believe it was the week before last. Chris Mobley went with me, and best guess estimate to provide one officer around the clock 7 days a week would probably be closer to $1.5 million.
Okay, so we're giving them $1.5 million worth of protection, and they're paying us $250,000. Do I have that right?
Well, that is correct.
Okay.
And I guess the point that needs to be made is if they gave us nothing, we would still have to protect them.
I understand. Yeah, I know we've talked about that. I understand that. It kind of puts us in a bad position, doesn't it?
It does.
But, you know, this is part of the problem. We give stuff away that we shouldn't. We lose money that we shouldn't. We should be running this county like a business, and we should be looking and say, wait a minute, we're providing service, a valuable service, very valuable service, and as Commissioner Webb pointed out, their tax rate is ridiculously low. There's no other city or municipality in the county that has a tax rate that low. So they're not pulling their weight. I think I would not support anything less than charging them $1 million personally. So that's just me.
Commissioner Sanford.
I think for once I concur with Commissioner Petty over there on everything he said. The issue is that it's not necessarily Mayor Stover's fault on this. I had a conversation about this because everybody knows I want everybody to pay their fair share. And Mayor Stover said, Greg, I paid what I was asked. So I don't know if the problem is from the sheriff's office, from the mayor's office. That's where the problem comes, in my opinion. I believe Thompson Station is willing to pay more, but they weren't asked to pay any more than $250. So this commission can understand that. And I don't know, again, Jeff.
To that point, yeah, if I could just expound on
Yes,
that.
sir.
When I first came into office, I think they were paying $100, and some agreement had been made for them to pay $125 my first budget year. I'm not sure where that number came from. The following year, based on the conversations in committee and so forth, we increased that 100%. And, you know, now as we're getting into it more, I mean, they want to have their own police department. That's their desire. And he's made the same comment to me. So maybe they're willing to step up and pay more. And I'm hearing the commission loud and clear. We need to go back and ask for more. Based on the study that we've done, I think that we can put a more realistic number on it. The problem is we can't promise them exclusive coverage. We count Thompson Station as a zone, so they're the 6th zone. But we, even if they paid us that $1.5 million, they would like for us to allocate that deputy to their town. Well, we can't do that because we have to go where the calls are in the county, just like in any other zone. So we can't exclusively guarantee that they're going to have a deputy in the town of Thompson Station, depending on what the call volume is and where the calls are in the county.
So, and during law enforcement committees, I chaired that committee, and Jennifer Mason and did as well. We had this issue. I guess legal, or you, Sheriff, who is actually telling Thompson Station this is what we're going to charge you? Does it come from your office, the mayor's office?
I'm the one that presented that amount to them this last time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that came from me. And I think it's appropriate for me to negotiate that. I haven't been told otherwise, so I'm happy to get back with Mayor Stover going into next year and talk about, you know, what the realistic expectations are going forward.
And I'm just one person on this commission, but I think it needs to double or triple. It's time that Thompson Station and your office get together and pay their fair share. And
yeah.
We're losing money on this deal, and we shouldn't be. And I think they're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And we just need to get it from them. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Sturgeon.
Thank you, Chairman. When we were first married, my brother-in-law lived with us because he didn't do so well in school and he had to go back to graduate school. And we charged him almost no rent. Almost. And then I was like, excuse me, but why are we not charging him what it would cost to live somewhere else? And when we told him what the real rent was going to be, he was like, well, if I got to pay that much, I'm going to live where I want to live. So it worked out really good. We raised the rent and he moved out. So I want to know, is that a good strategy in this situation? Because I don't really think us providing kind of a sheriff is really cutting the mustard anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be much better if they took this on themselves. And if we rejected this agreement right now, would that help? Would that help? Or is it like, take what we can now and maybe next year we can get it done right? Or
I think based on, what you heard from Commissioner Sanford about their willingness to pay, I think that we would be biting off our nose to spite our face if we turned down $250,000 just for the sake of saying, well, that's not going to cover the cost of providing the service.
'Cause
So
we
I
gotta provide it
don't
anyway,
think that's a
right?
good strategy, but I think we definitely need to go back now that we've got good data that
do
we
we
can
have to
show.
wait a year to do that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the
Phoebe's
answer to that
going.
question.
I think Ms. Riley believes we do.
The only thing that I am aware of, obviously you can go back and ask for more, but they've already set their budget, just as we have. So
Right.
they set that amount in the budget to pay us this year. So they're like we are, they have to stick to adhere to the budget.
Okay,
So it would be next year negotiations.
thank you.
Commissioner Morton?
I concur with everything everyone said, and have spoken to Mayor Stover, was there with the sheriff down at Thompson Station a couple of weeks ago. Mayor Stover's doing a good job. He is trying to grow a real city. I just want to encourage this body to remember that this is not an us and them. When it comes to public safety, there are no boundaries. Just because I live in the city doesn't mean that Sheriff Hughes doesn't come in. I see Sheriff Hughes' cars in my neighborhood. City of Franklin also provides police. If the city of Brentwood chose not to fund a police department, sheriff still has to pick it up. This isn't mutually exclusive. We also can't make them pay it. That we have to defend them. We are all on the same team. We are all funding the sheriff's department. I agree Thompson Station should do it. I applaud them for their efforts. I gave you directions at budget to go and negotiate hard. I have seen willingness from them, and I do think it comes closer to the $1.5 million, and the sheriff has done a great job, done the analysis on it so that we know what it's going to cost them. Commissioner Webb has shown what the city of Fairview spends. That's an approximate amount of what they need to think about too. They're armed with the right things. We're moving in the right direction. Negotiate hard. But remember, at the end of the day, we don't have the option of not providing Thompson Station safety. They're Williamson County residents just like all of us. Thank you.
Commissioner Clifford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree. I think we've got to continue being a good partner. They are a town within the county. They're weaning off of us. As you said, they're growing, but that doesn't mean we get to disregard them and let them suffer and let their citizens suffer for $200,000. I just don't think that's something we need to do. But the amount, the $1.5 million, as I understand it, and I only want clarification because I think these numbers are going to get thrown around by people paying attention to it. The 1.5 is what you said it would take to have a full-time officer dedicated to Thompson Station.
Mhm. Yes, that's correct. And so you have to take into consideration that one person can't work around the clock 24 hours a day.
Yep.
And they're not going to work 7 days a week. So you got to figure that it takes X number of officers to completely work a 365, or 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you want that coverage, then you've got to calculate the numbers based on that.
Right. And at this point, we're not providing a dedicated officer just to Thompson Station
No,
alone.
we treat Thompson Station like a zone,
Like a
just
zone.
like any other zone that we have.
So of that 1.5, we're not actually providing Thompson Station $1.5 million worth of your sheriff's services
No,
because you're still operating it as a zone.
That number is simply to
Right.
say, this is what it would cost to provide someone 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah. To the earlier question, do you have an idea of what of your resources you're actually spending today on Thompson Station? Not the estimate of what it would take for a full-time officer at 1.5 million, but do you have an idea of what they take of your money and resources as part of a zone?
I could get you that number. I don't have it with me tonight.
Okay. Okay. I just don't want to run out of here and people start saying we are providing Thompson Station $1.5 million worth of services and only getting 200 back
Right.
for it, because I don't think that's correct. But
Yeah.
I'm worried that's what's going to leave this room.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we articulate that,
Yeah.
that that's based on if we did 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yep. Okay.
Commissioner O'Neill.
I just want everybody to understand what they are actually getting now compared to what they would be getting if they were actually paying for a full-time police department. They're giving money to the sheriff's department, but that same deputy could respond all the way over to Nolensville or into Brentwood or way out into Fairview without, and Thompson Station doesn't really have any say about that at all. So they're just actually funding, giving the sheriff's department some money to kind of focus on that. But that same deputy that polices down there doesn't stay in that city limits. So that's actually, in a way, extra money for the sheriff's department right now. Now, if they came in and said, we're going to have a police department or the sheriff's going to contract with them to cover that, that would be a whole different story, because then they'd be expected to stay in those city limits. So it's not like they're not getting $1.5 million worth of service, because that deputy could go all the way to Fairview and it could take them 30 minutes to answer a call as opposed to what another city would be. So that it's important to understand that. I'm glad that they're willing to pay more. I agree with Commissioner Webb. It's probably about time they get their own police department, but to do that, it's not what it looks like on the front end. We're talking about the $1.5 million of service. So I just want everybody to understand that. This is the concept that happens in other states where they contract with the sheriff's department sometimes to provide police officers down in an area, but that's not what's happening here.
To your point, Commissioner O'Neill, they've actually approached us about that, about contract services for traffic enforcement, if you will. But there are all kind of considerations that you have to take into account. They have to set up a city court. Then who gets the revenue? You know, if we're enforcing the laws, you know, how's the there's all kind of issues that comes from contract services that we haven't even explored yet, if that were a case. But your points are well taken, and so yeah, I just want to make sure to Commissioner Clifford's point that yeah, that 1.5 million was based on our allocation. We were trying to give them a true, accurate number of what to expect for 7 days a week, 24 hours a day coverage.
And if they were paying that amount, they'd probably expect that deputy to stay down there in that area as well. And they're not doing that now. And I'm not taking up for Thompson Station, but it's not as cut and dry as it might sound on the front end, so.
Good point.
Commissioner Williams.
I largely agree with what everybody's saying tonight, and I think we want to be a good partner as we transition. I just, as I'm sitting here looking at this, if I was structuring this, I would actually build an escalator clause into it that just says next year it's going to be $500,000, the year after that's going to be $750,000, and you provide that incentive for them to go ahead, because they're not going to just be able to wave a wand and have a police department tomorrow, right? But we need to communicate clearly that we're ready.
Right.
We're ready for them to step up and actually be a town. We've always had a very unique relationship with Thompson Station, but if they're going to call themselves a town, like go do town services.
So, yeah, and to that point, Commissioner Williams, that was kind of my thinking, escalating it, from last year to this year, we increased it 100%. So if we increased it 100% next year, now you're talking $500,000, and built that up, built it in for years to come. Maybe that's, but I'm happy to take advice, counsel from any of you. If you want to give me suggestions, then I'll be happy to go negotiate that with Mayor Stover.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, real quick. So I know you've been talking to Mayor Stover. Have they actually said that they have a plan, like a 3-year plan, 4-year plan, 5-year plan to get a police department put together?
Commissioner Morton, you might could answer that better than me. I know that I think the 4-year number has been thrown out there, but I don't know that they have a definitive plan to do that. So I can't answer that.
That would be good to know. But I think the important thing is that they're making a lot of changes to Thompson Station. They're talking about an outlet mall. They're talking about some different things going in there. And I'm pretty sure when those things start to happen, the call volume is going to go up. So something to maybe consider is that if they're not going to have a police force, that maybe there's some sort of fees
Sure.
for the call volume that you actually end up taking.
And we know if that happens, we're going to have an increase in traffic,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, we'll probably have an increase in crime. So, with population and additional businesses, with people in general, those are the things that we generally see.
Yeah, I would hope that they'd start to think that through before they start doing some of this new zoning that they're doing and approving some of those projects, because public safety will become an issue. And if they're not funding it now, it's going to be more a burden on us and the county.
Good point.
Commissioner Hayes.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hello.
So I would love to see call volume for Zone 6 in detail. And could you start giving us in your monthly update, could you start giving us those numbers just so we can kind of see how they flux?
I believe we already provide that, but I'll go back and check, and if we
Okay.
don't, I'll make sure
I
that we
didn't
break
see
that
it.
out. But we
Okay.
should be presenting that to you by zone.
Okay.
And
Well,
and
by
there-
zone,
so
but I
the
mean,
zone-
like, what are the call percentages by zone and then that are city specific? Like,
Okay.
within their city limits? I'd be curious.
I'll go back and take a look at that, but I'll be happy to.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Sturgeon.
Just a quick question, just to look at it from the other perspective. If they got a police department tomorrow, what impact would that have on your budget? Would anything change at all?
Would anything change at the Williamson County Sheriff's Office? With our budget or with?
With your budget? Yeah, would you save money, or are we using resources that are already allocated? They're not going to change, are they?
No, I don't see any change, because we would just basically shift those to somewhere else that they're needed. So, yeah, I don't see
From that perspective, maybe they're not costing us as much as we what it originally sounded like.
Yeah, it's just a matter of allocation of resources.
Yeah. Thank you.
Commissioner Petty.
Yeah, but if they have their own police department, there's going to be calls they're going to take care of that we don't have to.
It's a force multiplier, right? So, yeah, they're going to be able to answer their own calls,
Yeah.
take their own reports,
Yeah.
do their own thing. We're still going to have concurrent jurisdiction, but that's going to allow us to free up resources that would be devoted there that
Yeah.
would be able to allocate somewhere
Yeah.
else within the county.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I misunderstood that $1.5 million, and I'm glad that Commissioner Clifford cleared that up, and I agree with Commissioner Williams. I think an escalation clause would be a great idea.
Thank you.
Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Call to question.
Got a motion to call the question, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. All in favor of calling the question signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
Sounds like the ayes have it. We will now go to the vote, and if you are in favor of the resolution, signify by pushing your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92541, resolution accepting the donation of a 2007 Honda Accord from the 21st Judicial District Drug Task Force on behalf of the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Property Committee was 5-4-0 against. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. As you know, the Drug Task Force has been downsizing and getting rid of surplus equipment. They are willing to donate a beautiful 2007 Honda Accord, sweet ride, to the Sheriff's Department, and the Sheriff's Department is happy to take it.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92543, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute memorandums of understanding concerning the provision of school resource officers. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This allows the mayor to enter into memorandums of understanding with Franklin Special School District and the Williamson County Schools to allow for school resource officers in every school in our county, I should say public school and Franklin Special School District schools.
Yeah. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed or no? Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92547, resolution to authorize the establishment and assessment of fees collected by the Williamson County Animal Center for Williamson County residents, non-Williamson County residents, and full-time Williamson County employees. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith and seconded by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon. Once again, this was a Public Health Committee that was the new committee as opposed to the old committee. They were 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Torres.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request to raise the fees for adoption, spade and neutering, and other services. It's an inflation adjustment. I don't know when the last time we had a fee change, but it does bring us into market relevance to other counties in Middle Tennessee. And Andrea has survived, and she is still here, so if there's any questions.
What it should be. I've got a question or comment from Commissioner Mason. What is it?
You. So I know it's a challenge of getting these animals adopted and out of our shelter. Sometimes we are overwhelmed with animals, sometimes we get it down to a manageable level. By raising the cost, do you foresee that preventing or slowing down the adoption of animals, which could be counterproductive because then we're holding on to them longer?
This is only related to spay-neuter services.
Okay.
So I know it says adoption services, but I think that's just the line that it falls under. This is only related to spay-neuter. So in-county is going up, neuters are going up they're doubling, but spays are only going up by about $50. Out of county, it's going up a little bit more than that. We do prioritize county residents, so there are certain seasons of the year that we get really busy and we pause our out-of-county services for spay-neuter. But we are not raising our actual adoption prices for the very reason that you mentioned.
Okay, that makes me feel better. These are the fees for people if they want to come to a spay or neuter clinic. This
Correct.
is what they would pay for their animal to be spayed or neutered.
That's correct. And it's still, I mean, compared to private vet services for spay-neuter, it's still quite a reduced rate. Most of the folks that do come through are either on scholarship or they are part of the Tennessee State Grant. So we get reimbursed for these fees. Most of them are income qualified.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Ricky Jones.
Say thank you. We have a new member of our family that we got about 4 weeks ago.
Oh, I missed that.
My
Great.
daughter went over there. Brought one back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Talk about yours.
I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify, oh, and there is a typo, I'm sorry, they wanted me to announce that. Clearly under now, therefore be it resolved, it should say the date of 8th of September. If you want to note that in your copy. All right, no other questions or comments. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92548, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the town of Thompson Station and the Williamson County Emergency Communications District. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is allowing the mayor to enter into a interlocal agreement with Thompson Station for emergency services, which, if my understanding is, and there's somebody here to talk about it, we've actually been able to identify the amount of services they use and have allocated the cost based on that service. So they're actually paying for the service they use, if I'm remembering correctly. If you want to just kind of speak on that briefly.
As the sheriff's already mentioned, they're split into zones, correct? So that 6th zone, or the Thompson Station zone, is what we portioned out. When we send out dispatch fees across the county, we want to be consistent in everything we do. And so that would be a consistent portion of that amount that the sheriff's office pays in through the county.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92549, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the City of Franklin for the provision of firefighting and emergency response services. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith, seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. Law Enforcement Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is again allowing the mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the city of Franklin. This is for firefighting and emergency response services. Even though we have volunteer rescue, fire, and emergency services, sometimes even if it's in the county, Franklin can get there faster. Sometimes if it's in Franklin, the county can get there faster. So this gives us the ability to work interchangeably with each other when those situations may arise.
Any Commissioner Lisa Hayes.
So what exactly is this lovely map that's attached? This is Williamson County Automatic Aid District. Not a huge, like, pressing question, but just curious what it is.
Yes, ma'am, that's a portion of 65 below Paydensville Road, but above 840.
Yeah.
Where Franklin Station 7 can, in particular, get to more quickly than we can. That's a station that's up behind the Ag Center. And there's a stretch there that they can get there more quickly than county units. So we've come to this agreement for that portion of 65 and a little bit of 840.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That's all for.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92550, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the town of Thompson Station concerning an on-site wastewater treatment system for the new proposed fire and rescue station. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Property Committee did not meet. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is, again, a memorandum of understanding for our mayor to enter into with the town of Thompson Station. This is for the on-site wastewater treatment system for the new proposed system. Public sewer is not available, and so it's talking and getting with Thompson Station about how we're going to utilize that. And if anybody has questions, Connor is here.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92551, resolution accepting the generous donation of a poll camera from the City of Franklin on behalf of the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is a donation from Franklin for a poll camera. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's a very valuable resource tool where we can put cameras on public utility poles in order to monitor certain activities.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Aiello and Commissioner Mary Smith. Oh, did yours die? You want to voice vote it? All right. Aiello is an aye, and record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 92553, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Law Enforcement Committee was
52. We're on 52.
52. Where did I lose that one at?
Yeah.
Oh, it was right here. I apologize. I was getting a little anxious there. We've got another resolution here. So let me back up, and we'll do Resolution 92552, resolution to surplus and approve the conveyance of various law enforcement-related equipment to Hickman County, Tennessee, and authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute all documentation needed to complete the conveyance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Law Enforcement Public Safety was 4-0 against. Property Committee, which I was told did not meet. Okay, I've got them here. Property Committee did not meet. Budget Committee was 5-0 against.
On this one, they were 5-0.
They did meet on this one.
Yes, the other one came in after they had met.
Okay. I apologize again. Property Committee did meet on this resolution, in which they were 5-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. This is actually a great resolution because we have a lot of stuff that we are ready to surplus, and Hickman County has agreed to take it all as is, and then they will parse through it and decide what they want to keep and not keep, but they take all of it. So this is a great way to get rid of a lot of surplus items.
Any
Great job.
questions? Sorry?
I was like, great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing yes. If you're opposed, press your no button. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Guffey, Commissioner Sturgeon. Commissioner Sturgeon, are you able to vote? They're still not taking it. There we go. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Now, for the final resolution of the evening, Resolution 92553, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Proper motion made by Commissioner Megan Guffey, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Law Enforcement was 4-0 against. Budget Committee was 5-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. So this allows the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Metropolitan Government Nashville, Davidson County for ICAC, which is Internet Crimes Against Children. For those of you that don't know, we have a phenomenal department within our Sheriff's Department. We actually had a trial last week involving an individual. Detective Paul Lust testified, and the individual was convicted. And all the feedback we got from the jury is that he did a phenomenal job breaking down all the computer forensics and explaining how we got to the images that they were being asked to convict on. So great job. We have a really great Sheriff's Department that does this. So
Thank you for that. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
24 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. As always, we want to thank our sheriff's deputies for being here, staying late. Thank you for the sheriff, all department heads. Are there any other items or business to come before this commission? We are adjourned.